It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I got it right. I almost never get it right coming out of a long weekend. It's Tuesday. Look at me. All right.
I was wondering why you look so cheery about it. I was like, you're not cheery about Tuesday.
I think like yesterday, I reminded myself that yesterday was Monday, like before I went to bed. Like, remember, today is Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. So now I'm like...
it's such a privileged life that you have to remind yourself that it's Monday instead of the world reminding you.
That's true.
It's very nice.
It's an interesting thing because I can bitch and moan about the state of the world, and I think everyone can.
Yeah.
But, there's still so much, about this life that is pretty heel-kicking, for sure. Hello to Austin, Guilty Angel, Erica, Lee.
Hi, guys.
Delicate is here. You guys are awesome. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with us. I just love seeing you.
Me too.
Just really get excited. Like these guys, since we've been doing the 2 reels, start soon, these guys will come in and they are...
ready.
I just see them in the chat and I just get all fucking excited. I'm like, yeah, look who's here. This is great.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
I kind of wish that I could figure out a way to avoid starting so low energy. I always feel like every time we rewatch these to edit them and stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm like in sloth mode.
I think most people use controlled substances for that.
Yeah, I know. I thought about what if I just have some caffeine before we get started so I'm just more punchy,
buzzing. Yeah.
So I'm ready. I'm stage ready.
Right.
But then I wouldn't get to sleep. So I can't.
We have a conundrum.
Austin wants to know, how was our weekend?
How was our weekend?
It was nice and relaxed. We live in a college town and most of the students were out of town for the holiday weekend. So that was really nice. Not just the students, just a lot of people left because the weather was really pretty. So it was kind of serene around here.
It was very chill. It was a very chill Labor Day weekend. We kind of just sat around and we watched, some movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about them yesterday.
Did some work. Yeah, we talked about those movies yesterday. I'm still jacked by them. Totally buzzed. Still buzzing. I'm
stoked that we're going to start a more of a regular movie habit.
Yeah, I love it. I think every Monday we'll come in with, and we're going to pick up some suggestions from our friends, and we'll also bring some I've got a lot to show. I've got a lot of good old films to show you that I've been kind of wanting to show you for years.
Yeah.
We just have never gotten around to, and this is the perfect time because, there's a lot of people out there who crave and who say they're craving, something more than Marvel. And I suspect that a lot of them haven't seen movies like State of Grace.
I'm one of those people. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, it's true. We do need that, but we had it.
I also complain a lot about the current movies. Why is every movie that come out, why does every movie have shitty sound mixing? How come I can't hear any of the dialogue in between the fucking explosions? Why are you guys mixing your sound so shitty?
Are you talking about now?
Yes.
Nowadays.
And also that there was a phase where everybody was doing really bad lighting, when it was they would shoot nighttime scenes and everything would be really blue.
Yeah.
Or there'd be too much color saturation. J.J. Abrams, makes blue films and David Fincher makes green films and stuff. So that was kind of I was like, oh, well, this is a little bit lame.
Yeah, it's true. The color.
Yeah.
I have issues with color.
And then now, even more recently, they decided to sort of fix that by making every film uniformly too dark. So you have to you can't see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, the rise of OLED.
Yeah.
Creates this super immersive experience if you got all your lights off. And,
but there's some scenes.
It's Barry Lyndon everywhere.
Yeah, right. Well, that was at least you could see. There's a lot of TV shows and movies now where the scene will take place in an office building, but for some reason inexplicably it's dark.
Yeah.
Or detectives will be talking in a room and it's super, super dark. There's one tiny lamp. I'm like, is there no electricity in this world?
Yeah.
It's very strange. I just feel like the older movies, I think they executed all of that so much better.
Well, I'll say this about a lot of the way I see a lot of the newer movies being made. I feel like, editing moved into this nonlinear realm, and it really changed a lot of the way films look and feel now. Films are, they're not cut like with the same kind of, I don't know, the same kind of feel that they used to be cut with when, there was a certain amount of like, there was a lot more thought, I feel like, and now there's a lot more tricks. That
I agree with you.
That can look good. They do things. So like nowadays they do like amazing shit, like matching frames, like in ways I've never imagined before. And, filmmakers are really finding amazing, incredible ways to create, and editors and directors working hand in hand to create like incredible transitions and just these amazing events. But there's something that I think, I don't know, doesn't have the same natural flow, the same sort of, it's like shooting. This is like really like film talky, but it's like shooting 50 millimeter lenses versus 24 millimeter lenses, and the difference is. Like what would appear to you as a normal face, 50 millimeter lens, to a more distorted, like something Hitchcock would use, and he did commonly. Stanley Kubrick loved to use a 24 millimeter lens in the right spot.
Why? Because it pushes the background way farther in the distance?
Narrows the face and kind of pushes the background into a little bit of a distortion, and it just changes. There's every now and then you can catch on Reddit, somebody posts a DP. Evidently has posted in the past like all the lenses on one face.
Yeah.
And you just see the person's face go, go to ham head to, So it's what Leo should do, because he's got a ham head now, is you just insist that everybody shoots him on a 24, and then he'll look like he did back in 1995.
Maybe the reason why he has a ham head is because they're using the wrong lens. Maybe. Did you ever think of that? No, Dale, you only ever think of yourself.
I think my situation's the right situation, not your situation. So anyway.
I also, I really can't stand too about movies that when they have the score like come up and it like drowns out the dialogue. Like the score in an emotional scene is so loud that you can't even hear what the fuck they're supposed to be acting.
You know what's weird about that is like that happens a lot in like video game cutscenes.
Really?
And so I wonder if like there's some kind of because games are so popular. Just wonder if like maybe like kind of these like newer filmmakers might have a lot of gaming influence in their filmmaking.
Oh, maybe.
Used to be the other way around, right?
Yeah.
But like now games, I think filmmakers are exposed to cinematic games early. Like it wasn't until I didn't see that shit until I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
These kids are grown up on it, and then they're like. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe
I ended up developing like director loyalty, because there's certain directors that just don't do that shit. Like the Coen brothers are really reliable. They're never going to pull any of that shit where the fucking score somehow ends up louder or like so forced that I'm noticing it, Like one of the reasons why I relished watching No Country for Old Men, and I saw it 5 times in the theater.
Yeah.
Was because it was quiet. It was silent. Like they did that on purpose because it takes place in a really quiet place. Like the American Southwest is super quiet. Like when you're out in the desert, it's really eerie how still everything is.
That's why the whistle is like a thing in the desert,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Never
like,
do that at night.
Sorry about that.
But I just really appreciated that they're not like beating my head over with a fucking score that's supposed to convey what the characters are feeling or what I'm supposed to feel.
Yeah.
And so, there's some directors that do it and some that don't, and I'm loyal to the ones that don't. I just really love enjoying movies. It's like really fun to be picky and opinionated about stuff that's like not consequential. It's a good escape in these trying times.
Well, while we're on the topic, I guess I'll just move right into saying goodbye to Graham Greene.
Graham Greene left us.
Yeah.
Graham Greene, who you may not know his name, but you definitely recognize his face. He was most famous for his nomination in Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
He is a Canadian Indigenous actor. I looked up his career, and he hadn't started acting until he was 27 years old. Isn't that interesting? And that was on TV.
It is.
You said you remembered him in Canadian TV, didn't you?
Yeah. He was in, I can't remember which one it was. It was like he's in a bunch of series, but he was actually quite prolific in terms of, his work. He just got after it. He just 27 years, similar to Harrison Ford in that way.
Yeah, his first movie role was in 1983.
Yeah.
And so I guess, I don't know what old he was then, but he was in his 30s.
I can't remember the series. It was like a Canadian series. It was called Northern. Oh, look, he was in The Beachcombers. I'm looking for it now. He was in The Beachcombers, which is, I may have seen him in that. I doubt that he was a regular on that show. You don't know The Beachcombers?
No.
That was like a Canadian show. It's really cool, like a logging show, basically.
Why is it called that?
I guess
Beach?
You'd have to look it up, but like they had all these, logs in water and you walk on logs and stuff. They had a lot of that.
A lot of log walking?
Well, that was the work they did.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Canadian entertainment has a lot of log walking.
It was a good series, It's not, it's humble. It's a humble series.
Yes.
But he was in another one that I really liked that I can't remember. I think it was called like, I don't want to say Northern Lights, but it was like Northern something. God, I wish I could find it. I know he was in it. Anyway, the guy's been in bloody everything. And even more recently, he worked in, I guess not so recently, but Aaron Sorkin's Molly's Game.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah, he played the role of a judge. And the actor recalled, and this is a great quote, this is from his Wikipedia, the actor recalled, Aaron Sorkin, the director, was looking at me sitting behind the bench. I had a puzzled look on my face, and he said, "Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I've just never seen the bench from this side before."
Adorable. That's great.
The guy was self-deprecating in
so charming.
A totally racist way, and everyone found it charming, including
Why
me.
is that racist?
Well, Canadians, racist Canadians against Indigenous, and it's been a horrific problem up there.
Oh yeah, but he could have just been.
They kind of have the joke about all the jokes about the thief jokes are all on the Indigenous.
I know. I just didn't think that it was racist. Like, he could have just been like, I'm the outlaw type, not the lawyer type.
Yeah, it would definitely be racist if I popped that joke.
If you did, yeah, but you didn't. He did.
Anyway, we don't have to debate it. It doesn't matter. I was just teasing him. He was a really great Canadian dude. He won a Grammy for a children's book that he read.
Oh, I bet he's
pretty cool.
I bet his narration is awesome. He has a really great voice. There is a movie coming out in October that he finished. It's called Icefall. So I'll be looking out for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to go binge on him a little bit. It's nice. It's nice to be able to kind of say goodbye to these guys in that way. When they pass, you can just kind of go and relive some of their history and just through their work. And I think that's one of the things that attracted me most about this whole business. Really, is I loved that when I was a kid. I loved seeing all the old guys. I even loved seeing, I remember as a kid seeing On Golden Pond. Have you ever seen On Golden Pond? You haven't, so you're going to.
No, we gotta.
Yeah, so On Golden Pond. And so I'm watching this, and it's fucking this old Henry Fonda. And I'm like, I got to get into Henry Fonda. And that's what got me onto 12 Angry Men and everything he's done. I just went crazy as a kid because I loved him so much, and he was so sincere and beautiful.
This is my absolute favorite, most recommended strategy for ever getting into anything is just do 6 degrees of separation from the thing that you like. I used to do this with music where I'd get the, the fucking CD or the tape, and read what musicians were on this band that I liked. And then you go and find their side projects, and now you're experiencing a bunch of new music that is made by people you already like. Same thing with the movies, directors and editors and cinematographers,
Yeah.
It's so great to do.
So there you go.
On Golden Pond.
I thought we'd get into to that straight away since we were talking about movies. Really loved that guy on the screen. He had a lot of struggles. He
did?
Depression. He attempted to take his own life at one point.
Oh no, I didn't
his
know
wiki
that.
is pretty loaded. These are all things I just learned about him. I don't want to pretend to have.
That's so sad. He's such a
expert.
Successful actor.
But as soon as the truth is I didn't know him by name. This is my problem. I forget names. So I didn't know him by name. He was that guy to me.
Yeah.
But a really special one, that guy that I felt, a certain closeness to, not because he was Canadian, but because of what he meant to cinema. He was really quite a beautiful actor. And Dances with Wolves, although later I guess hit a lot of controversy, when I first saw it in the movie theaters, I was swept off my feet by it. Mm-hmm. I was absolutely jaw dropped in love with it, and saw it a couple of times in the theaters, which is a rare thing for me to do. And his performance in particular was so incredibly important to the movie, and as recognized by the Academy. So anyway, enough about Mr. Greene. I encourage you to go watch anything you haven't seen of his. He really was a special dude who has, made it to the other side.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
He's a really special dude who's made it to the other side. He's had the ultimate finish. He's taken his last bow. What were you going to say?
Austin, I think, answered your question. Northern Exposure?
Northern Exposure. I loved that show. Yeah, I remember him from Northern Exposure. He was fucking awesome in it.
Was that Canadian?
Yeah, of course. I think so, wasn't it? Yeah.
I thought it was like Michigan.
Northern Exposure.
No, I thought it was like Michigan or Maine or something.
Yeah, that is somewhat north.
Not the most north. Why am I struggling to say it? North.
It's got some north to it.
North is what I keep. I've got like a.
Did you say north?
Yeah, I have like a childhood speech impediment all of a sudden. Oh. Great.
Oh, just like the developing.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. I don't know why Lee is listing all of these.
Yeah, let's get caught up in the comments, and then we'll do this.
Okay, let me catch up.
We'll do this this Baldoni stuff that I'm very interested in. I'd love to take a cruise to Alaska, says Guilty Angel. Alaska, yeah, man, Alaska.
Oh, Lee said...
It was Alaska? Was it?
Oh, that makes sense. Alaska, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, that's definitely north. That's very north. Incredibly north.
Lee said the 70s were a great decade for film, too. And then Austin said, Lee, recommendations. I want to broaden my horizons. These are Lee's recommendations.
Okay.
Network.
Yeah, one of my favorite. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
How many tiny pineapples?
It is a 4.5, but it is and by the way, I believe that won the Oscar for best screenplay. Utterly staggering movie. I used to have that in a cycle, that movie. I love that movie. Beautiful recommendation.
The Deer Hunter.
It is probably some of the most specially captured moments in cinema history. The opening scene, I could cry. It is perfection. It is perfection. It's really not talked about enough. It gets super dramatic in the end, and it does have these really big turns. But if you haven't seen this movie, devote the time. It's what infects us with the art of film. These kinds of films.
How many tiny pineapples?
It's a 5 probably. The Deer Hunter. It could be a 5. Yeah.
The Godfather 1 and 2.
I mean, I would tattoo them on my body.
5 tiny pineapples.
5 tiny pineapples for both.
The Exorcist.
I mean, what? Here's the crazy story about The Exorcist. I love it. Artie Robb was prevented from seeing horror films from his mother. His mother didn't allow it. So he had never seen The Exorcist, and it was playing the new Bev. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Listen, this is going to be horrible for you in one way, and in the other way, cinematically, it's going to blow your fucking mind. But just be prepared, because I'm just telling you now, this is scary. And I took him there, and it turned into a fucking comedy. The movie turned into a fucking
The theater?
Yeah, everybody in there was laughing when Reagan comes downstairs and pees.
That sucks.
They laughed.
That's fucked up.
That was one of the most horrific moments for me. The whole the setup, the whole setup of Reagan turning into. I love The Exorcist. Your list is impeccable thus far. It has to be the greatest horror film ever made.
This is one of the things.
It's also the greatest faith-based film ever made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's wild.
It's so fucking annoying that the audience ruined it for you guys.
I will say this, and this is where I think Christians missed the opportunity. That movie did more for me in wanting to believe in good versus evil, so that I could believe in the idea of a protection from something that would come to Reagan and create this horrible thing, right? Like they kind of missed an opportunity. If you're asking me, the Christians should have just embraced the fuck out of that and went,
this could happen to you. Okay, Jaws.
I mean, again, this might be the greatest, certainly the greatest, monster versus man.
I'm sorry. How many tiny pineapples for The Exorcist?
It's fucking good. It's 4.5.
4.5. Okay. Yeah. Jaws.
Is a 5.
5 tiny pineapples.
Yeah, 5. It's a 5. It's a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a masterpiece.
Sometimes randomly in our house, I'll start singing that song that they sing under the deck.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Clute.
Clute? Mm-hmm. Oh, don't know it.
You don't?
Nope.
We have to watch this one. It's really good. It's Donald Sutherland and Jane Fonda.
Really?
It's very good.
Wow, I must have seen it. I mean, Dr. Sutherland is my thing. I mean, I love him. He's a fellow Canadian.
He plays Clute.
I admire him endlessly. Okay, well, maybe I haven't. I don't think I've seen it, so I'm gonna watch it.
The Stepford Wives.
I liked it a great deal. I don't have the same kind of crazy love for it that some people have. It's a great movie.
How many tiny pineapples?
I give it 4.5 tiny pineapples.
That's a lot.
It is. It's a stellar
You seem
movie.
a little lukewarm, but then
I'm a little lukewarm because in the list, it's definitely like not as strong. The other ones you had me out of my seat, right? Mm-hmm. I was like popcorn flying everywhere. I'm talking with my mouth full.
Alien, not aliens. Alien.
I mean, I guess we can have the argument about which one was better. Alien's brilliant. Love it, brilliant. 4.5.
Okay, 3 more. Lee is providing us with all this wisdom. Yeah. What's up, Doc?
I don't remember it.
Me neither.
I saw it.
You know which one that is?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw it. Who's in it?
I don't know. I've never heard it.
Let me go look it up right now. I saw it. I remember it. I don't remember it. So it was probably great. I didn't know that was the 70s. Oh, yeah, Barbra Streisand. Right. And Ryan O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal. Yeah, I don't remember it well enough to comment.
You have an opinion about Ryan O'Neal?
No, not one I need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Way We Were.
I liked it as well. It's not one I remember well. I did see it. Everyone's got to see everyone that you talked about. 1973. See, I was 3. I probably saw it when I was 3. Redford and Streisand. Well, you like the Streisand
Yeah,
movies.
I guess. And Star Wars to round out the list.
Yeah, Star Wars. Staggering bit of genius. Add to that Phantom of the Paradise.
Okay. How many tiny pineapples for Phantom of the Paradise?
I mean, that's a 5.
5?
For Phantom of the Paradise? Well,
you think it's a perfect movie?
For what it is. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's not. You wouldn't compare it to Godfather because it's not that.
Oh, and Lee says Chinatown.
I mean, Chinatown's a masterpiece.
Yeah, 5 tiny pineapples for Chinatown, for sure.
70s was the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s were the 3 greatest decades collectively for all the things.
All the things?
For all the things. Music.
There was probably
art.
there were probably like 4 years in the 70s where the music was not good. Everyone was doing way too much.
We could add Harold and Maude to the list.
Yes.
I think
absolutely.
Harold and Maude is a 5. And I think it's Hal Ashby, 1971. I just checked to verify that it was 70s. That's how fucking amazing that movie is. 1971. You'll love it.
Yeah, I just think that like the studio system kind of like squished all of these really great stories now. Like you can't make something like Harold and Maude from as a studio film now. Like who would even want to? Nobody
would. It would never qualify as a studio movie. That would be either something for streamer or indie.
Yeah.
And I mean, it fits perfectly in those. Like, who would make that in a minute, right? Would be, the next Bottle Rocket. What's his name?
Oh, Wes Anderson. Oh, but then it would be so stylized. It would never be
That's
anything
true.
like...
It would be way too many colors.
There would be like no immersive quality, That's the thing about his movies. They're so stylized. They're so great. They're so unique. They're wonderful. They're delightful to experience. But it's not an immersive experience. No. You never for a second feel like you're in the movie, ever. You're watching it for sure from the outside because it's like a story box.
Tez.
Tez
like a story box.
Okay.
All right. I love this talk.
We talked about movies for a half hour. I don't know if that was boring or not. I enjoyed it. I guess that's all that matters.
Yeah. There's that. Hey, I'm a movie guy. I make the things.
That's right.
I write the things. I make the things. I love the movies. If we can't talk about the movies, what am I doing here?
Kindly DiCaprio is with us, is asking you, was it fun to make Don's Plum? I want to make movies someday similar.
Oh, it's so much fun. I totally encourage you to make movies similar. And to make a movie similar to Don's Plum would only mean that you just throw all fucking rules and convention out for a moment, grab only onto the bare bones, the ones that need you to get through a specific day. And you just make something happen. You just and do it with people that you can bring together and that you can trust. And I still feel very strongly that we did that, even though things went badly for us. I think that we did everything right. I think we had one bad guy who destroyed everything for us. And so that's why I'm not particularly concerned for anybody else when I say I encourage you to, if you want to make films, find a film community, get into that film community, create friendships, observe them, cling to them, bind with them, and create with them. And, and just totally, first of all, you have to do it. You can't think about it. You have to do it. That's like the thing. And that's the scary part. It's the scary part because you don't know what you're getting into. You have no idea. But just build the community around you, the physical community. Go work on movies if you can, get like PA jobs, stuff like that. That's the best thing you can do because then you can get a familiarity with the way sets move, and it will open you up creatively. Because one of the most beautiful things about being on a set is if you're like keen to like the energy around you, you're going to be able to really pick up on usually a really heavy creative vibe that will be inspiring and that will mix with your soul. Yeah, it's cool. Check it out. Do it, man. So, making Don's Plum was the fucking greatest time ever. It changed me. It kind of ruined my life in a different way because, how they used to say, like, if you did, like, ecstasy and had sex, that was it. Sex was over for you.
They used to say that. Yeah, that was like a urban legend or something where they were like, okay, you're going to try a drug for the first time. Yeah. There are some rules you have to follow.
Yeah.
This one makes it so that if you have a really, really great experience, you'll never have an experience anything like it ever
unless you're on it.
Yes.
It was like my friend told me
nobody knows if that's actually true, but it was the warning everybody heard.
It was enough to scare me away from it. I was like, yeah. I'm not going to ruin sex forever for one really good one. You know what I mean? Like I'll pass on that. So it's kind of like that. Don's Plum, making Don's Plum, and it kind of ruined everything else because it was everything I ever wanted to be and do in one single moment in my life. It was everything I ever wanted to be and do. And so and there was only two ways that would cause me harm. And the two ways are that I couldn't once again grow from it or reproduce it or, evolve from it artistically, or it would be snatched away from me. And the latter happened, and that changed me. But even before that, I was an injured man, so to speak, because there was only one thing left for me. It took me all this time to write a book. It took me all this time to like get the courage to write a book, because to me there was only one thing that I really was. When Don's Plum happened, I became one thing. I became a filmmaker. That was it. It happened. I knew everything about me in those 3 days. I found out everything about me in those 3 days. Remarkable. So yeah, it's special.
So you had to reinvent yourself to do something else.
So now, now I'm trying to I've been breaking out of that, right? I wrote a book. I did some teaching, I'm starting to figure out like that loss is real,
Yeah.
as much as I still cling to it. I don't. I'm like, it's real. The loss is real. And just as soon as I said that, I was like, bullshit. You're gonna make a movie. It's gonna be fucking brilliant. The time is going to come, because I just cannot give up on it.
Oh, and why should you?
I won't.
I mean, as soon as you get the opportunity, you're going to sink right back into who that person is. It's not, you don't even have to deal with training wheels anymore. Like I saw when you made a movie a few years ago, you just picked right back up where you left off. It was like, you're like what do they call it? Like a duck in water. What are the sayings?
Yeah, I guess they paddle, don't they?
You're like a fish in a stream.
So that's it, man. You know what I mean? Fuck yeah. Get touched by art, man. Go out and get it. It's there. You can have it. Everyone can have it. It's not a talent. It's not. Talent can be in the mix. You can see people accelerate because of talent. Leonardo DiCaprio had more talent than he had training. He had no training. He had no skill. He was all talent. Now he has skill and talent, making him utterly amazing. But back in the day, he was ripping around on talent and raw talent, He
was born that way.
And I'm very much a mix of the two. I have talent and skill. I spent a lot of time studying, writing, both by reading, but also, I read, dozens of books on everybody on writing. I just read them all. Like, well, what about writing? What about writing? And even though I felt like I had a good feel for writing, I would not trust myself with it, as just a freestyle and, like an actor. Like actors show up to Hollywood and they're like, I'm an actor. That's it. They were like fucking 20 minutes before that, they were pumping gas at a fucking mobile. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden they were like, or they just had a party. They was like drinking. They were like, what are you? I'm an actor. I'm an actor. You know what I'm saying?
Do you see this mosquito?
That's so easy.
You're being hunted. You see that?
Yeah. Is he blood heavy? Anyway, that was a fun question. You got me all excited.
I hate mosquitoes.
Got me evangelical tenors in the house.
Kindly DiCaprio said, thank you so much for your advice. Like you worked too hard on Don's Plum and became burned out?
No. Don's Plum, no. Don's Plum I didn't work too hard on. Don's Plum changed me because I can't be fulfilled by anything that isn't at least comparable to it.
Like you found your purpose and your role. And
it was taken away from me.
Yeah. And
so there's a tragedy that bestowed me, but that tragedy, really what it did was it exposed something I did not know, which was that by making this movie, I was changed utterly and completely, that I had gone from a guy who could go get a job or even find ambition in something else. And I can find no ambition I could not find any other ambition in my life. As soon as that was gone, all my ambition was gone. And I had no idea where to point it.
Because that's all you wanted to do.
I was completely lost because I found myself in those 3 days when I shot Don's Plum. I found out who I was as a man, as an artist, as a human being. I found out how I wanted to relate to the world, how I wanted the world to relate back to me. It was remarkable. It was utterly transforming in every possible way. I was not the same person come Monday afternoon. On Friday, I showed up for work to try this thing out, to have this experiment, and I became a different man, a totally different human being, and the one I wanted to become. Like I became closer, at least in that moment, to the man I wanted to become. Certainly, we're always working toward that, to becoming the person we want to be. But I took big steps those days, And this was another one. This was a big step for me as well. This changed me as well. It opened up a whole different chapter of my own creativity. So I'm excited about it.
Kindly DiCaprio said, "Is your book similar to Don's Plum? If so, I'll read it."
Yeah, I think yes, I would say yes. It is. I would say yes. Wouldn't you say so? I don't know how to answer that. To say it is about Don's Plum.
Yes,
it's essentially about Don's Plum.
I also feel like it's you can tell reading your book that you're the person that wrote Don's Plum. Like they're very much companion pieces for sure.
Yes, you can see why I am the first credited. Should I read the first chapter? No. Mm-mm. Okay, so I love your questions. You're awesome. You can ask me any questions that you like. If you hang out with us, we'd love to have you here. So keep them coming. Do we have anything else that we want to talk about before we get into some of the stuff we want to cover? Thank you for that conversation. Thanks for getting into the movie conversation. Anytime you guys want to dive into the movie conversation, we're down.
Yep.
We're going to expand, what we're going to bring to the table, because we're going to start on a Criterion Collection regiment. So we're going to weekly bring Criterion Collection opportunities. There's nothing I love more than to digging deep into cinema, and it feels weird to be back, because I took a long hiatus. Denzel Washington was recently quoted as saying he doesn't watch movies anymore, and it's a really easy thing to stop doing. It's when you do them, when you make them, or when your heart is broken by them, or when they become sort of either painful or burdensome because you have such a close connection to your entire life, your whole your life. They're such a big part of your integrity, and I'm excited because since this live has really caused me to be like wanting to dive back in. Cosmic Urgency shows up and gets us going, and
we get so
Tanner's
many good...
been like, he's gotten us going on some stuff.
And Lee today, like those are really great recommendations.
Yeah, Lee. There's a movie I haven't seen in Lee's list that I can't wait to see.
Yep.
So anyway, fuck yeah, this is whatever. You guys are changing my life. That's
Tanner said, "It'll come again, Dale, and it'll be great. Let's do an art house film in Chicago."
Fuck yeah, baby. I love Chicago. Are you kidding me? I love Chicago. I didn't go far in Chicago. I used to go there for business. And I used to, when I was working for CBS Radio. Oh, no, that's not true. It was a different job. But anyway, I used to go there for business. And it was another media company. And I used to go to this bar, Bukowski's. It was called Bukowski's, and it was just like, it was like a Bukowski.
Every bar wants to claim Bukowski. It's hilarious.
It was actually really cool though. Like the guy like vibed on it. Like he was you could tell like he was like a super fan.
Yeah.
And I am a super fan. I think Bukowski was one of the most important writers in American history. And this guy like put that vibe together. If people compliment Don's Plum, it's an interesting thing too. People compliment Don's Plum because of like the stamp it put on time, like of time. It's like it captured the 90s in a way that was very authentic and real. And so it gives us this opportunity to really look back in that time. Like 200 years from now, Don's Plum will become one of the more important films of its time, because it's going to be more and more true to, because it is more and more true to the dynamic that we were living in at the time. It's so raw and so real. And that really is what Bukowski is. That's what his work is. That's why his work is so important and so precious to this world, because it's uncompromised for the most part. It's uncompromised. It's an uncompromised raw American truth,
That's excellently put.
It's staggering. All right. You guys are getting me like really inspired and emotional at the same time. I get really like emotional around like a lot of art. Like I'm getting big waves right now of it. I'm like, whoosh.
That's good.
It's coming in.
It's good for you.
Big boats. But anyway.
Makes you strong. Cosmic Urgency is asking, did you figure out the Snoop Dogg apology or whatever was fake? I tried to tell you when you were talking about it yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. He's fucking...
God, you just don't know. You know what I found out too? And then, you
never know what's real or anymore,
you don't, because
bro.
like, so on this show, on this fucking live, I said, Pam Anderson and Liam Neeson are fucking, romantic. And
I was skeptical.
And you were skeptical. Yeah. And then it comes out, right, that it's not true, right? Uh-huh. Well, guess what? Just fucking I saw.
What?
A headline saying it is true. That's not true. It's just a big fuck around, bro.
Nobody knows anymore what's real.
I don't understand it. Like, it's just, what's the cash grab here? Like, what are you getting for it? What's the
clicks,
reward?
Bro. Engagement, yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, but like, if you're not trusted, right? Like, I want people to come here and be like, trust that the people are beginning to know that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And, so that's going to work out great. We have a really great relationship in that way.
All right.
Damn.
What's next?
I love it. All right. What's next? Well, let's just go to the top of the heap then straight away. Because I got, there's one of the things going around a lot right now is, did Justin Baldoni stiff No More? No More is the organization that Justin Baldoni had pledged 1 to 3% of the profits of It Ends With Us 2. It was the organization that he was trying to really put everybody into in terms of the tie-in with the release.
Yeah.
Sony wanted to distance themselves from it, not because they had any problem with the organization, but they just didn't think that from a marketing perspective it was a match. In the same way that M&M's didn't want E.T. eating their candy. They didn't want like an alien eating Reese's Pieces pick that up.
That's really funny. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
That's some good marketing lore.
Yeah, it's a true story, man. They pitched M&Ms, and M&Ms were we're not going to have an alien eating our candy.
Alien hands on our food.
People are going to not want our candy. So they went with Reese's Pieces, and then Reese's Pieces became like a true competitor. It's a very funny thing. Sorry to digress. Where was I?
You were talking about No More. Okay, this is from Baldoni's lawsuit. Okay.
Well, wait, so before we go, let me
just say the No More part, okay?
Thanks.
Baldoni insisted when they partnered with Sony that the provision was a deal breaker, a requirement that 1% of the film's proceeds be donated in support of survivors of domestic abuse. The 1% was ultimately earmarked for the organization No More, with which Baldoni had sought to partner with as early as September 2022.
Well, the partnership is going to be the tie. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the tie, and there's not going to be a transaction because it's 1% of the profit, correct?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So the tie, so the 2022 is the like we're going to get into business together, we're going to wear badges, we're going to combine logos, we're going to do all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then obviously 1%. Well, here's the thing that I just want to bring up about it that so I caught this on Baldoni Files, our Baldoni Files. Mm-hmm. And man, the comments were just ripping. Like they were just ripping on Justin Baldoni is a piece of shit. This, and it felt a lot more like I was reading Baldoni supporters rather than people whom I'm hoping are more level-headed about these kinds of things. Not a lot of thought going into it. This movie's a year old, right? It just finished it just passed its anniversary of its release.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's in a lawsuit that has issues around insurance. So that puts the cash that they did get in lockdown for the moment. And besides that,
that's interesting. So you're saying that even though we have statements from the Wayfarer Foundation that says that they didn't donate any money,
yes,
and that there's recently been news that Steve Sarowitz intends to close it this year,
right?
You're saying that doesn't mean that No More is not going to get this money because the lawsuit has delayed the accounting for all of that.
I'm saying there's a couple of things. There's that, which can be the possibility. I'm just throwing this out as a possibility that if I were running this production and I was in a major litigation, so the books aren't closed, first of all. So let me start out with the real news. The real news is that the books aren't closed. This movie's only been making money for 1 year. Those books aren't closed. If it's a matter of profits, it's like, when do you close the books on that? There's a lot of money to be made after a movie does $350 million in the box office, like a whole shit ton of money to make on a movie that does that kind of money in the box office afterward.
So we'd have to wait until the year end, right?
So you could go as long as a couple of years if you wanted to. Like, first of all, exhibitors, those are the theaters, right? Exhibitors, especially international, but exhibitors, they don't pay for months sometimes. Months. They take 2-3 months to pay, at least, maybe 4 months. So it's a long process to get all the money in, first of all, and you literally have to get collections involved, and it's a big deal. And that's another reason why you use like a big distributor like Sony, because they have all the infrastructure in there to go and get the money. They also have the leverage because they have all the product. Yeah. So they've got all the things you need. You go out there like me, bare bones, and you'll just get fucking whacked around by exhibitors who will just be like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. They just take that money and be done with you. You're a fucking wrap, buddy. So what I'm trying to say is books aren't closed. This is not a done deal in terms of their how much their income is. And so that might be one reason why they haven't paid. And another reason why is because they are in a lawsuit. And so you're not gonna like release money to anybody that you don't have to until you understand what kind of judgment you might be facing. These guys are facing potentially those profits and much, much more.
No, it's true.
In liability.
Wayfarer LLC is being sued themselves, and all of the principals.
So you're not gonna fucking hand out money when you're in the middle of a multi-million-dollar, big, giant, worldwide, global sensation, or at least national sensation fucking lawsuit like this, right? You're just not gonna. So there's no, and by the way, the CFO of Wayfarer is on the board of No More.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he sits on the board.
Let me just read what No More is according to Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, okay? Okay. partnership with organization No More, founded in 2013. No More is a global initiative aimed at raising awareness, inspiring action, and sparking conversations to end domestic violence and sexual assault. Wayfarer's collaboration with the organization began in 2022 and held deep personal significance for both Wayfarer and Baldoni. Baldoni prioritized amplifying the voices of survivors of domestic violence. I find it strange, amplifying the voices of survivors of domestic violence, but that's not what No More is doing. It's so raising awareness, inspiring action, and sparking conversations to end domestic violence and sexual assault. So are they just?
It does sound like they take a lot of money in and then use that money to create awareness, and that usually means that they're out spending it and doing dinners and throwing parties and just
like, are they just? Did he want to partner?
Awareness matters. I don't want to diminish this, and this is like I think something that people can take for granted very easily. Awareness matters. It's a very expensive thing to do, and the more that people, it sparks conversations.
Are people unaware about domestic violence and sexual assault?
Well, it's not about the idea of being unaware about it. It's about having conversations about, the more the conversation happens, the more likely people might be to seek help or to notice the signs or to stop ignoring them because now it's more in front of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you keep things quiet, we all, the horror I lived in as a child is ridiculous. And it's just because people were just shutting up about everything that they saw,
Right.
They just shut up about it.
I also I wonder whether it doesn't really seem like a match to me because the organization isn't helping victims directly. And I just wonder whether, Baldoni before this film was making a lot of like inspirational content and charity content and religious content. And I wonder whether he partnered with them so that he could make No More content. Since they're a raising awareness organization, they probably need videography and marketing.
Well, I have no idea. I wouldn't make any sense, in this.
Well, you said
I was just looking at episode.
You said the CFO is on the board, right? So they're linked that way.
Yes.
Maybe they were in partnership.
It's not going to be about content. Too. It would be about him promoting the brand, and then the brand No More, and then the brand taking in large amounts of money by donation, by partnerships and co-branding and whatever else they do. So it's bigger than that. They're not going to do a video. Listen, Justin Baldoni, I was looking over episode 74 today. I was just going through editing, and so sorry. We talked about at length. We talked about. I lost my train of thought there. I'll bring it back. I apologize. I don't know. I just got this like. Never mind.
A demon.
A demon.
A demon possession?
Thank you. Yeah, I was struck by a demon.
I knew it. Anyway, so is this all you wanted to say about No More?
No. I mean, so I just want to point out that, look, No More might be a front for them to make more money. The CFO of Wayfarer is involved. I mean, if you want to be like super cynical about it, you could create any kind of story you want about what it actually is. But I don't think that the idea of diminishing it's out there providing a great service by talking about domestic violence and educating people about it and just keeping the awareness going. Awareness matters. It really does. And it's a very expensive thing to get. People just don't, offer it up. You got to have a brand. You got to have association. So whatever, and I don't really know. I've never worked in that field beyond observations. Like I've seen it functioning, but I've never been a part of it. So I don't know the work that goes into it or the kind of manpower that it takes or whatever. So I don't know. I'm not going to call into question the organization.
It's true that it is a lot harder to run an organization that actually directly helps victims.
Yeah.
That actually provides like legal services, legal counseling, safety services, shelter, like any of these other things that people
requires an
need.
Immense amount of infrastructure.
I know, it's true. And I don't know, I'm not sure why this film with the contents in this film aren't a better match for donation to one of those organizations, maybe local to Boston, where
that ship has sailed, right? That ship has sailed. The point that I'm trying to make
that's where my cynicism is coming from. Right. It's not because I think that these organizations shouldn't exist.
Look, Sony agreed with you. They agreed that it wasn't a good match. They didn't think that it was a good match at all and didn't want to marry themselves to the organization whatsoever. So Sony agrees with you. I agree with you. I don't think I don't know why you would do that. I don't understand why you would want to connect a movie that you're trying to go and get $500 million out of the box office for, and try to like weigh it down with this thing that's got its own situation. He could have very easily just supported the organization as the director and the star of the movie, particularly as Ryle in that way. It's very symbolic in that the guy who played Ryle would then, in his own arena and
really good
using
point.
his own brand, walk in and be a part of that rather than trying to marry the whole project. So I understand Sony's point of view. I understand. But let me get to the point that I'm trying to make that before I do lose it, which is this. If Wayfarer were to give the 1% that they agreed to give, it would be no more than $600,000 if they got the high end that I would imagine that they did get in the deal with Sony. Okay? Which would land them about $60 million gross. Don't know what amount of that money has to be distributed into the company itself in terms of cash flow and what they owe and, any of that business. And additionally, in terms of determining profitability, there's going to be a certain disbursement among the partners. Obviously, you've done a job. You're going to spend some of the money on the people who did the job. So that's going to go out of there. So there's a bunch of money that still has to come out of that 60 million if they go on the high end. So let's expect at least half to go before taxes. That half is out the door to Baldoni, to whatever other entities that they have created. And
so half is gone.
Half. So now we're down to $30 million. So now that's a $300,000 contribution. Because I think, like, for example, like in the Baldoni files in the comments, somebody was like, dude, they should have paid $1 million. I'm like, where the fuck are you pulling this number out of your ass, bro?
Yeah.
Right. They didn't make $100 million. They didn't make $100 million. I just doubt they did. But if they even did, they're not going to net $100 million. It's a percentage of the profits. And one of the big scams in Hollywood is the profits or net, because there are so many different definitions of net, because net gets adjusted. Every time you add something to it, it's a new net. And so there's producers net, there's producers gross, there's all these different definitions of what where profit, and by the way, it's almost like gerrymandering. That's all there to try to separate people from their opportunity to make more money. It's like, so they can forego paying out. That's why, like, when you I think it was this, I think in the studio, somebody said, yeah, I got 3% of the gross or whatever. I know actually Macaulay Culkin talked about, he said, they asked which was his favorite Home Alone. He was like, Home Alone 2, because I own 5% of it. Because he got a 5% gross deal.
Yeah.
So those are more rare, and that's why it's such a small number. But, you do $200 million, you're walking away with 5% of that. That's $10 million, folks. So, that's my story. I think people are, and the thing that bothered me about this and why I want to talk about it today is because I don't want to be a part of a bunch of people who want to make a big fucking racket out of shit that doesn't have to do with what's at hand here. And we are critical of sort of the Baldoni side of things and the way they push things, like
no, it's true,
the Forbes thing, and now we're talking about fucking No More, which has nothing to do with whether or not Justin Baldoni did what he did and whether or not he should be held accountable for it.
Yeah, that's true. The other side with their whataboutisms about like today I was hearing a bunch of people complain about how Ryan Reynolds apparently gave his kid some spicy dialogue or something in a movie. I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with Justin fucking Baldoni? Like, yeah. Okay, so is the 6-year-old child gonna go up on the fucking witness stand as a fucking character witness or like in the defense of Justin Baldoni? Like, what does this have to do with anything?
Right. So I just don't want to participate.
No More doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Right.
It is interesting that Justin Baldoni talks about it in his own dismissed lawsuit. Yeah. And he frames it as Blake Lively didn't want to go along with his plan. But you said something that was really interesting. You're so knowledgeable about this stuff, so I learned so much from you. That's so interesting that you think that it was kind of like an overstep for Justin Baldoni to try and put the No More contribution and alignment on Sony. Like, he partnered with Sony and then had it, part of the discussion was like, okay, well, as part of our partnership, this is really important for me that we involve No More in this donation to No More.
It's tantamount to like an athlete putting a patch on for their mom's hoagie shop.
I agree with you. I think it's so strange. Like, okay, that's your thing. Why should it be everyone else's business?
It's not. Sony, the way that Justin Baldoni, this is Justin Baldoni amateur hour. This is like just him playing amateur hour, because you get to the table. It's okay for him to suggest that the movie try to align with, a nonprofit. Nothing wrong with having that conversation.
And he himself can be directed with that, with everything, every creative choice he makes. But it's just strange for him to put it on Sony.
Well, or in the marketing in general, like the whole reason you bring on a distributor is because they're the experts to put out a movie. So if the experts are telling you, hey, this isn't probably a great partnership for what we're trying to do here, it's probably best to lay off it. And this is where he lacks in foresight. And this is why we're where we are right now, or why he's where he is because he just lacks the foresight to understand the next fucking move. This kid cannot play a fucking game of chess. He doesn't have a fucking clue what he's looking at. I think his eyes will just start twirling if he looks at a fucking chessboard. He has no idea how to project anything into the future, because if he did, he would have recognized that he had a totally different opportunity. In the same way that he had a different opportunity with Blake Lively, when I've kept talking about how he could have just promoted her and made a big deal out of it.
Yep.
And made himself the fucking hero.
I created a producer. She had ambition. No one was giving her a shot, but I, Justin Baldoni, elevated her, because that's what we do when we're feminists who work in an industry that's...
I mean, this is the opportunity he walked away from. It was right there in front of him. And he didn't. He could have been a total devious shit about it. He didn't have to believe in anything he's saying. He could have done it all for his own personal benefit, in the same way that he did the Wayfarer the Man Enough podcast in and of itself, right? All that shit was a show, because we know that because of the way he's behaved. We know that. By the way, Angela and I came up with some really cool shit that I just suddenly have to suddenly derail into, switch the rails to, because you and I were talking today, and you said something that really woke me up. It's true. This guy, it's about retaliation. Like, I keep talking about misogyny, and it might not be misogyny. It might be just whoever gets in his way, whatever he perceives as a threat, which is potentially anybody at any moment, that he goes to war. He immediately goes to war. He immediately retaliates.
Yeah.
He might have the arrogance or whatever, or
there's some people, like, I know there's a lot of people who have met somebody or even been in a relationship with somebody who is just paranoid, who are like revenge is a reflex. Like, they feel like they're being slighted by people when it's not happening. And if they don't have the right people around them who they can trust to just be like, no, dude, you're reading into it. Like, it's not that serious. Then they'll just go and spiral about this kind of stuff. I think that Justin Baldoni has this issue. It's really common. A lot of people who are like, oh, I'm being wronged by my coworkers, or somebody's out to get me or something. And then somebody else with the outside perspective is like, hopefully able to help them be like, no, you're stuck in a pattern. That's not actually happening.
Right.
Like, let's look at what your options are. And it doesn't have to be, revenge or fucking whatever. He's just got this reflex for it. And I think that it took him down the wong road.
Well, I just think it was a great observation, because I really feel like it's his big problem. And I had felt like there was an element to that, especially with that conversation but that's where, again, the conversation with the editors really made me feel more like misogyny. But when he said he's ready to go to war, and then you think about like his whole paranoia around the dragon and hero dragons, it starts to add up.
I feel like that might have been Brian Friedman's hyperbolic narrative, because they had to go through all of the evidence that they had, right, at Brian Friedman's shop,
Yeah.
And also like the publicist went through all the evidence, and they were like, okay, where can we find a threat? Where can we find her making any threat or being controlling or demanding? And they had to just wring blood from a stone, because Blake Lively's being totally cool in all of her messages.
Yeah.
Then they're like, dragons, maybe we could turn that into some kind of threat. It's just really funny that they ran with something where it's the only thing they could find that she actually said that was at all somewhat threatening is a total fantasy.
Fucking stupid. It's just weak sauce.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell the jury that you were worried she was going to attack you with dragons. They'll buy it for sure.
Look, I think that Justin Baldoni was definitely, I don't agree with you. I think he was intimidated by the moment. I think he saw that as a threat. I think he took that threat away. I think when he got there, he felt like he was ganged up on, because because I've heard him talk about his vision more than once, There's nothing really more irritating to me than a director and his vision, especially a director who's on his second movie. It's like, shut the fuck up and work with everybody, would you please?
I know,
We're all making a movie here. You're doing it for the studio. Shut the fuck up, Martin Scorsese, and let's get this fucking done. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's just, it's too far. These guys, they take it too far. They have no choice but to work with others. Martin Scorsese's had his scripts changed. Tarantino's has had his script changed. It's just, shut the fuck up and do the work. You know what I mean? And earn your spot. You know what I mean? And if you want to go and be Mr. fucking Martin Scorsese, then don't shoot It Ends With Us. Because that's not a Martin Scorsese movie. Do you know what I mean? Or what I'm trying to say is you're not playing in that arena.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Am I saying that a lot?
It's adorable. I like it. I do know what you mean. I think that he's...
Why are you trying to make me self-conscious? Huh?
No, don't.
You're making me self-conscious.
No, I thought it was really cute.
Can you do it when we're off the live?
Oh, you're not saying it too much. You're saying it just enough. It's adorable. I love it. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
I think that...
It's not doing it high pitched like I do sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
I think that I completely disagree. I feel like if he wants to start out straight out the gate and be an auteur, then he should be able to do that.
Yeah, but not with fucking these kinds of properties. This is why you can go ahead and disagree all you want. But when you're dealing with Sony and you're dealing with fucking number one selling books, you don't get that fucking privilege.
I know.
That's not how it works.
Like that he was all butthurt that he got like expelled from the edit after he was taking all these like artistic liberties, like filming a teenage sex scene that nobody had ever written.
Go get some obscure ass shit.
I know that Sony was like, dude, we're gonna take it from here. Like, don't worry about it. He shouldn't have been surprised.
Guess how many books Taxi Driver sold? Fucking none. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's don't. Now you're making me so self-conscious. They're going to ruin the live.
I think it's adorable.
It's crazy, man. Like that. I'm just telling you from a business perspective, from the business, from Hollywood. Hollywood's not interested in Martin Scorsese or a Martin Scorsese type or some big visionary director directing It Ends With Us. What they want is a competent
of a book
of a best-selling book that is
it's true
is pop culture book.
It's true. The audience wants to see the fucking book on the screen. Do it.
They want the book on the screen.
That's true.
That's what we're fucking doing here. Mm-hmm. We're not doing anything crazy fancy. There's no fuck. You can build your themes in, be a director, put your visuals together, do all that, have a good time. But it's a studio movie. This is not a fucking an auteur piece. It's just not. And the studio would not have financed an auteur piece. What they were looking for was a fucking good piece of popcorn movie that exploited the popularity of the book. Period. Simple.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's just like again. It's like know who you are. A very interesting headline I read earlier was by Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott turned down some huge movie. What was it? And he was like, God, I couldn't. I think it was Aliens. No, not really. He did Aliens. The fuck was it? It was some crazy movie. Shit. I'm gonna go find it just because it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, and I don't think it's far because I think I might have saved it. But Ridley Scott, he did some fucking. Let me see. I'm gonna find this for you guys because I think it's worth hearing. I should have known this was gonna come up in my talk.
Lee and Guilty Angel are in the chat talking about how people don't believe that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift relationship is real. Guilty Angel said it's a publicity stunt and that she doesn't buy that either of them are straight. I love that. I love the celebrity conspiracy theories, especially something like that because it's innocent. Like nobody's going to get harmed by you believing that they've got like a
Oprah,
fake relationship.
Oprah, you could play with that because like the whole thing was like, what the fuck with Gail and whatever, But come on, that just sounds like absolute ridiculous to me.
Lee is providing. I don't know if this is for evidence, but doesn't Taylor Swift have like 15 cats? It's hilarious. Like no way she's straight.
Just going right into all the stereotypes.
Yeah, it's really funny. Did you find it?
Not yet.
Ridley Scott was gonna do a movie.
Yeah, he just talked about how he got offered $20 million to shoot one of the big fucking things that was not him, and I just anyway. Just to the point.
I'm gonna find it.
It's like know who you are. He literally turned down a $20 million payday, and he was like, holy fuck! But then he was like, it's just not me. I can't direct this. This is not. And this is what I was talking about with RD in Dennis the Menace. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So, you're going to go direct It Ends With Us, pal.
Terminator 3.
Was that what it was?
Ridley Scott turned down $20 million to direct Terminator 3.
Yeah, because it fried his brain. He was like, what? Zip, zip. I can't do that.
He was like, I can't be bought, dude.
Yeah, well, he can't be bought. It was 20 mil. He said no. In the same way that Pam Anderson walked away from $8 million for her sex tape. Because there's like, and that's not the same theme. That's not somebody who knows who they are. That's standing up for your principles and your values. But Ridley Scott saying, like, I know who I am. I'm not going to go fucking sabotage my career and my future to go make $20 million, even though I can be smoking the finest cigars for the rest of my life on that one goddamn movie. Do you know what I mean?
It's delightful. Don't change.
You're really ruining this live.
No.
Stop
it. I am not. I'm not. You are. Leah saying the anti-Blake content creators are saying that Taylor reneged on being Blake's kid's godmother. I saw that today too.
Yeah.
Somebody's sharing this. They're
just
this
liars.
article.
They're just thieving liars.
Somebody's sharing an article that was posted on AOL, AOL.com. They're sharing it as like
dusty ass motherfucker was just.
I know.
They like blow off their keyboard. And it's like.
I saw that too. It's so funny.
It's like their keyboard with a thick wire and one of them big fucking ends on it.
I guess they stopped paying Jed Wallace or something because that is they were really trying to push this like anti Blake Lively breaks up with Taylor Swift or vice versa for a really long time, and now they're just having to like scrape the bottom of the barrel from AOL.com. I think that's funny. Let them have it. Let them have their little treats.
Tanner, I don't see your comments now, but I did glance and see you said some really supportive shit. So just thank you for that. Or did you repeat it? I was just remembering Tanner saying some supportive shit, and I just wanted to make sure I was saying
that you should
thanks,
make an art house film in Chicago.
Super kind guy. Yeah.
Tanner's asking, have you seen the first few screenings of Long Walk? They're having them walk on treadmills when watching it.
Oh, I know. I don't know. Fucking stupidest shit ever. But
that's so dumb.
Forget about that. Some early previews are in, and there's one at least is saying it's the best Stephen King movie they've ever seen.
Well, the studio would put that out, you know.
It still does get me excited. I don't know how they could pull that off.
I'm excited because I've been waiting for 20 years for this movie. All this false starts, and it's finally happening. I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
We're not going to go to the theaters because of fucking COVID-19.
Well, we're going to go find like a drive-in or something that's showing it. We're just going to like drive for an hour and a half to go see it someplace. We'll bring the dog. It'll be great.
I love it, dude. We're going to do that. We're going to make a movie in Chicago. I love Chicago. I'm
not done talking about this.
I don't give a shit.
Have you seen the first few screenings of The Long Walk? They're having them walk on treadmills when watching it, says Tanner. Yeah. I actually, I was talking about this online.
At 3 miles an hour. And
I know.
First thing everyone was saying was, well, if you're going to fucking do it, then it should be at 4 miles an hour, like they have to.
The book is 4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I took this screenshot to share with everybody. This is the rules, okay, from The Long Walk.
Do you want to send it to me?
I'm just going to read this page.
Okay.
Okay. First, it starts with dialogue. Smart. It was Olsen. What? Garrity asked. He had to make a conscious effort to move his tongue. The guy takes a warning while he's still fresh and gets an idea of where the limit is. Then he can slough it easy enough. You walk an hour without getting a fresh warning, you lose one of the old ones. You know that. Sure, I know it, Garrity said. It was in the rule book. They gave you 3 warnings. The first time you fell below 4 miles an hour, you were out of the walk. But if you had 3 warnings and could manage to walk for 3 hours, you were back in the sun again. So now he knows, Olsen said, and at 10:02, he's in the clear again.
There it is, the rules.
What's the rules?
Don't break them. Easy enough. Hey, Angela, didn't you read that Taylor Swift said that she wanted to have like loads of kids or something? Back in the day?
Yes, it was a 2012 interview where she was talking about how the only other thing besides her career that she would be interested in doing that would fulfill her would be having like a bunch of kids.
Dude, I'm telling you that I just think that there's no way that Travis Kelce doesn't want to be a dad. So I just think that all this bullshit that people want to make up about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is just nonsense, of course, because they just want to like, it's just so weird. Like they see somebody having a great life and they're like, let's burn it down immediately. Sad shit.
What's that?
Sad ass fuckers.
What?
Just people who want to like, like this idea that they're gay. Like, first of all, it's like I love how they're able to like create these stupid fucking rumors to do like to try to not only like, damage these people.
Why would it damage them?
But like,
it's not stupid.
Well,
it's guilty angel. It's not stupid. It's conspiracy stuff. Who cares?
No.
They're fine. They're fine.
I'm not saying they're not fine.
Okay.
I'm not. I thank you for defending them or making me aware of that or something. But they're fine. I know they're fine. All I'm saying is that I'm talking about the people who do it. I'm talking about anyway. It doesn't matter.
Who are saying
I've lost my way.
that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are beards for each other?
Yeah, I mean it's just like, well, what I'm trying to say is that not only are they trying to cause them damage. I mean, that's why they're saying it. They're trying to say that they're lying and being deceptive and all this other stuff to try and hide the secret. So they're at the same time they're being homophobic at the same time. So it's just wild that they're able to like accomplish so much in just one stupid comment. Do you know what I mean? Like in one stupid comment, it's like it's so entirely homophobic. Like they have to fucking hide being gay. Why?
Yeah, right.
Fuck you.
I know.
They don't. How about that?
I know. Taylor Swift could just get gay married. And she would lose no fans.
That fucking zero fans.
Yeah, that's true.
With absolutely zero fans. The only thing, you know what it would have? There would be this ire toward her for making everybody gay. She'd be like the person. Now, oh, my daughter's suddenly gay. You know, because Taylor Swift went gay. Do you know what I mean? She would get blamed for that. Don't laugh at me when I say it anymore.
I'm not laughing at you. I think you're adorable. Am I allowed to? Think you're adorable?
Dale, do you personally know Taylor? Your beautiful wife is sitting right there. Wake up.
Who said that?
Guilty Angel, what does that even mean? I'm being crazy rude? About what?
You're not being rude. Don't worry. I made you all self-conscious.
Why are you being rude? I'm not being rude.
You're not being rude.
I'm being my usual self.
He's not
Guilty Angel, if you need to take a time out, okay, I'm serious. If you need to take a time out, I'm not being rude. I'm being my normal self. I'm not calling you homophobic. I'm not going to argue with you through chat.
Lee said she'll start making her own baby food and have a bunch of kids. She does like to bake.
Yeah. Does she?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
As soon as you start a baking hobby, you want to fill your house with people to feed. This is true. This is true. It doesn't matter if they're kids or neighbors or friends or what, but you want your house to be filled with people who are ready to eat your baked goods. She's a hobby baker.
Yeah.
So for sure, she's trying to do that.
Oh, so Guilty Angel is who said that?
Yes.
Oh, so this isn't a rumor?
No, is Guilty Angel brought it to. I've heard this from other people, but Guilty Angel brought it to the chat, and Lee was saying it too. That there's a rumor.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm addressing the rumor. I think it's such horseshit, and it does sound like a homophobic rumor to me. Why would they have to hide being gay? Unless you're trying to, unless there's an implication that there's something wrong with being gay, and that if they come out and be gay, that would be bad in some way. If that's not fucking homophobic, what is?
I know it's totally oh, I'm not sexist, but but I hate that I throw like a girl.
Yeah,
you're saying it.
Yeah, you're saying
you're saying the sexist thing.
I mean, this is actually a worse example of it, in my opinion, because you're clearly fucking saying somebody should hide their sexuality. For who? For you? For what?
Delicatessen said Taylor's hobbies are granny hobbies. Said, in quotes, I'm on my granny shit. That's really funny.
That's great. You know that shit, Angela?
I do. I'm on my granny shit, too.
The only thing you don't make is doilies. No. You fucking knit fucking granny squares. I mean, you crochet granny squares.
Yeah, that's true.
And you knit.
It's not just me.
You make quilts.
You knit, too.
I'm a knitter, but I'm not like quite the knitter you are. My father, with his big pipe fingers.
Yeah, he would make Afghans all the time, right?
Yeah.
He would like get off the road, park his truck, right?
Yeah.
Because he was a long distance trucker, right?
We have an Afghan that he made for my grandmother when they took her in when she was going through her end of life. And they took her in until she went to hospice. And he knitted her a blanket. As soon as she came through the door, he was like, well, let's do this. And he fucking whipped one out in like 5 days. That guy could... I mean, you wouldn't believe it.
I think it's really awful.
He can watch TV, dude, and be...
That's pretty amazing.
Purling like crazy.
He'd be knitting. He'd be purling.
He's knitting, purling, and dropping, and adding, and oh man, you would not believe.
I think it's really fucked up that we have genderized those kinds of crafts. We just saw a documentary about quilters in a men's prison.
Yeah.
Where they have this little quilting group, and they make quilts for foster children so that they have something of their own, a blanket of their own.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's just a shame that it's like so, I guess we've like stigmatized men doing knitting or crocheting or quilting or any of these like fiber arts, because it's really, really good for you. Like mental health wise, it's super good for you to work on stuff like this.
For sure.
And it's and it's really accessible, and it's like super rewarding.
It's better than puzzles because you achieve this thing.
Yeah, you end up with something that's like cozy that you could gift to people or keep for yourself.
We saw a documentary about the prisoners who make quilts. It's a really fucking heartwarming, cool documentary.
Yes, it's called The Quilters. I think it's on Netflix if you guys want to see it.
It's a cool little documentary.
Short.
It was a short prison program that allowed people on good behavior to go make quilts. And there was this like guy who's been there for life, committed a heinous murder, and he makes quilts, and they make them for these organizations. So it's all these dudes, and they love it. And you've got to like be fucking clean as all hell in order to get into the program.
Oh yeah, because you're dealing with like sharp.
Yeah, using knives and
yeah, like the rotary cutters are really sharp. You could hurt somebody with those.
Sure, and they had X-Acto blades. In fact, wow, spoilers. Check it out. It's a great, like, if you what do I want to watch, man? Check out Quilters. It was like really heartwarming stuff, and also it was great. It was great contrast. There was like a great little.
I used to volunteer. I started doing like an after school program where they would just like ask people in the community, like, what can you teach? Like anything, like whatever. We just want these kids to do something after school. And so I started teaching knitting to people.
Yeah.
And then I expanded it from kids to like anybody in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And only twice did we have dudes in. And they always had this like horrible struggle with like having to deal with like the stigma of like,
so stupid.
They're like, I would love to just attend a circle of other people and just like do this socially or something. I'm like,
dude, I knitted at your bar. Yeah, I knitted a hat for one of your customers.
I know. And that's the thing is like, it's a conversation starter. Like people will be like, oh, what are you doing?
I was super pop. And I made one of your customers a hat, and he wore it for years. He sent it to me years later. He was, look what happened.
And it was all tattered?
It tattered. And I was like, I'll send you another one. And I never did.
That's great.
Yeah. Well.
It's not great that you didn't. You should.
Yeah.
You probably found another hat. What happened?
Oh, delicatessen. I just called you delicatessen.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. She's delicate to me. Every other pop star has come out as bi. She doesn't need to hide. Like, it's the most stupidest thing ever. And yes, Travis coming out as gay. Okay, would you just stop? Would you just stop? By the way, she also said, Delicate, that if we watched the New Heights episode where she's on it, and we haven't, but if we did, we would know that Travis Kelce wanted kids. Didn't I tell you right away?
Did he say that on the episode with Taylor Swift right there?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Delicate. But didn't I say?
They're like preparing everybody for the news.
Didn't I say?
Yeah.
Right away.
Yep.
It's Travis Kelce. These guys are made of home. Home is where the heart is. They're that. They probably have a mom with all the big, they buy the big fucking Marshall things with the fucking love.
Also,
and home.
Taylor Swift's
family.
Taylor Swift's moon in her astrology chart is in Cancer with Jupiter.
Oh, come on. Yeah, this is all about being like.
She's gonna have a lot of kids. She wants a lot of kids.
Creating a loving, happy family, The real fear here is, does she go on a hiatus to go? I know. Does she pull a Mia Farrow and just go away?
Yeah, like, are the hormones going to impede her ability to continue songwriting? Because I don't know. Things happen to people. I don't know. I don't know about these things.
Travis Kelce definitely wants to have kids. All the the Kelces, both the Kelces do. I think Jason might be already on his second. He just got married. Cosmic Urgency says, I need Joe Alwyn to come in out as bi so I can swoop in. I got you, boo. Drop him.
Austin, what are you talking about? Didn't he make Raised with Wolves?
Do you mean Dances with Wolves? Are we talking about, is he maybe talking about Graham?
No, I don't know.
Mr. Greene?
Austin, you lost me. Austin said, then we can talk about the plot hole of AI not checking the food source, whether or not it's radioactive on that planet. There's like whole conversations in the chat that I don't understand. You guys are on one.
The problematic.
I wish I knew, though. I feel like
that's problematic. If you found an organization that supportedly directs survivors, they would have had an issue with how it's portrayed in the movie. Oh, that's interesting. Austin says that, about that's problematic. If you found an organization that supported directly survivors,
yeah,
then they would have had a problem with the way. And this makes perfect sense. That's another thing that, like,
no, explain it to me.
So what Austin's saying is that
if Justin Baldoni had partnered with an organization.
Let me finish this.
Okay.
What Austin's saying is that if, like, one of Sony's concerns might very well have been that, and maybe through experience, that by working directly with organizations that directly reach out and help, that they're extremely stringent to to the content that they're associating with.
Oh.
So they would object potentially to the portrayal of DV or DV surviving.
Well, it doesn't appear that anybody was making that claim or making that request of Sony for them to vet anybody other than No More, because Justin Baldoni said that Wayfarer was partnered with No More since 2022 already.
That's not the point. The point is that when it was offered to Sony might have been like a quick no just by virtue of what he's saying, or what she's saying, which I think is really smart, because that's very true. If you like, it could be cystic fibrosis. I mean, in fact, we know that Justin Baldoni took some heat on the cystic fibrosis side because he took some liberties apparently. That at least I read in some. I went in and saw some our cystic fibrosis reactions to the movie, and they were like, "Yeah, not quite how it goes, but I'm glad that it's bringing awareness." So it was like almost like the Sean Baker movie. Was that Nora?
Yeah.
Right. And Nora, a lot of the sex working community was like, well, it's kind of bullshit, but we appreciate the nod. It's good to know that people are like actually empathizing with our life and our career and starting to understand that we're actually just worker bees. Like, we give up our bodies just like athletes give up theirs. And
construction workers and warehouse workers and
everybody else. Yes. We're just worker bees.
Yeah.
We have a customer base. We put out. That's what we do.
I wasn't really understanding. Okay, so you're saying that if Justin Baldoni brought Sony during their meeting, right? Like, hey, I'm partnered with this nonprofit organization, that Sony might have just pushed back just anyway, like no matter who it was or whether they were vetted or whatever, just because they didn't want creative input from the organization about what the film they were making. Is that what you're saying? That Sony would have been like, we don't partner with organizations because they want to have a say.
Yeah, well, ostensibly, I mean, it's a little more like they're going to want us to make changes and we're not going to make them. It's more like that.
Yeah.
It's more like, I don't need another fucking organization I got to run my cut through.
That's right.
I got problems enough with Justin Baldoni over here, who's fucking Johnny fucking Scorsese.
That makes a lot of sense. That Sony would be like, yeah, we have found in the past that doesn't really work for us.
It's a great comment. It's a very insightful comment. That's because that's actually high level thinking. You're a high level thinker, Austin. You got moxie.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a great observation. I really like that. It's a rich comment. I wish I could sell it for money. I got this comment in my comments. How much you want for it?
Delegate said, no, Taylor Swift won't retire. How perfect is it that her 13th album is going to be her marriage and babies album? Oh my God.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing.
All while Travis is going into his 13th year. They are aligned.
By the way, that 13th year, I mean, it's so interesting. I wonder do you know what year of perfection she is right now? Don't even tell me she's in the 12th.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Do you want to give me a second and I'll do it? Okay.
There's this concept in astrology called perfection years, and there's
profection.
Profection, and profections are 1 through 12. They match the houses in the zodiacal circle. So it's 1 through 12 each year. So Angela and I are aligned. So we're on the same profection year every year. We met in our 7th house of perfections. And that's something.
The 7th house is the house of one-on-one relationships and partnerships.
Love.
So that we both met and moved in together, and our 7th house perfection year is pretty amazing.
Is astrology proving itself?
Okay, here we go. How old is she?
I think she's 30. I don't know. Look it up. You want me to look it up? I'll look it up.
I'm looking up this part. Okay, Taylor Swift. Her age.
I'm looking it up now. We should only have one person on their phone at a time.
Tell me when you find it.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? She's what? 38? 37?
35.
She's 35?
She's born in 89. Of course, 1989.
She's 35. This is her 12th house perfection year.
Oh my fucking God, I knew it was going to be.
Why?
Dude, because 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Everything's 12. 12th album, 12th year of perfection. Everything is 12. She's been planning this shit. Oh my God, that's amazing. By the way, what that means when you say 13, this is why I wanted to get to this, Delicate. It's not 13, it's 1. It's 1. If she has a child next year, which it seems impossible, but it's not, because if she were to get pregnant any day now, then
she could adopt.
Or she could adopt. That's true. She's not going to have a child, but that they're both starting their lives now. I don't know are they the same age?
Yeah, I think so.
If they're the same age, then they're also aligned. And if they are, then they're both going to be in their first profession house, or their first year of profession, or fuck, you know what I'm saying, next year. And they'll get married in it.
Yeah, they're both 1989
Oh
babies.
my God. She's amazing. This is amazing. I can't even tell you. This is an absolute like astrology. Like this confirms beyond any doubt that not only is she working with numerology, she's working with astrology too. They're in their 12th house of perfection. She's lined up everything. Her 12th album. I mean, it's just crazy. And this is the precipice to the first house. I mean, it's just absolute perfection. I'm stunned. Astrologers unite. She's fucking, and she's got somebody's great.
She's 36.
No, she's born in 89.
Okay. This is 2025.
Yeah, so come on, Angela, do the math.
So she hasn't turned.
You can't be 36.
She hasn't turned 36 yet?
She would have to have been born a different year.
Oh, she's born in December. Great. So she is correct. She's in her 12th house perfection year.
She's in her 12th house. Wow, that is just absolutely stunning.
That's so weird that she went on a world tour. 12th house is usually a place, is like the house of seclusion and like the deep inner work that you do like behind the scenes. Like usually if you're in a 12th house location, you're isolated, you're in a hospital, you're in a prison. It's like mental health counseling. It's like all the places where you're kind of forced to put all of your work aside so that you can do the sorting inside of the things that you can't do when you're too busy. Healing, right? Like mental health, like addiction recovery. Sometimes hidden enemies show up in your 12th house year, and that's interesting.
Yes.
But yeah, it's so strange that she was so like out facing like to the world, you know? She did a world tour in her 12th house year.
I'm staggered by that. I'm just totally amazed by all of it. She's really...
Oh, no, wait. Was the tour last year before? So it was, if her birthday's in December.
Her tour was in her 11th house.
Her 11th house year. Okay.
Which is just like, I mean, the perfection is ridiculous.
So she's
you can't ask for a better house.
So she's taken a break in her 12th house year.
In her 12th house year, she pulled back and got engaged, which is so interesting because she got engaged while in the 12th house, which is really that precipice of into the first house. So this is like a perfect.
It's also a Libra house.
Wow. Come on. The ruler.
Relationships.
Venus ruled house.
Okay. Anyway, we're probably boring everybody.
It's amazing though.
I'm going to remember this. I think we should do like a astrology deep dive on her.
It's really, well, I mean, I think you really have to do the work though. Like not you, but I mean, to do this, you have to really spend time like
I'll do it.
Breaking down every move she's made.
I think there's a lot of people who are doubtful about whether this is actually her astrology chart, but I'm going to use it because I think it looks good. And I found it online and it seems like other people think it's credible.
Kindly DiCaprio is saying that she doesn't know if she's allowed to criticize Taylor Swift on the show, but I don't hate her either. You can criticize her. You can criticize anybody you want.
You can criticize anybody.
We're not fond of hatred.
You can criticize me. You can criticize Dale.
Yes, we're just not fond of hatred. We're not fond of lies.
That's true.
We're not fond of like, you know, things that have to do with
like the ad hominem attacks, like you can't believe what Blake Lively says and what she claims because she made a personal choice or she's a bad person for this other reason.
Right, because she went on a plantation and got married.
Yeah, like you have to dislike somebody for the things that they're actually doing in the context.
Yeah. Everything has to be in context. I mean, history can matter because it can have, you know, it can speak to character and so on and so forth. But I agree with you for the most part. And yeah, so you can criticize Taylor Swift. You can criticize. This is a totally open, like, no, you're right. Kindly DiCaprio, her private jet is not good. Look, she's the only billionaire I like. We all get one. How about that? Can we just have one billionaire?
No.
I want one.
No, you don't get one.
Kindly DiCaprio, can I have one billionaire, please?
No.
I want one.
You don't.
I just want one.
All the billionaires are awful. Everyone. One thing that is better about her being a billionaire, although none of them should exist, is that she does not have like a major corporation where her employees are on welfare, like other billionaires that we know of.
Yeah, I wonder, I don't know anything about her, what she pays, and I don't know anything about it. I hope that she is great to her peeps, and I'm sure she is. Look, you know,
it's true. Billionaires shouldn't exist. We agree.
No, we agree. Billionaires should not exist. Of course, they shouldn't exist. They're absolutely worst. The worst thing that ever
Jacqueline
happened.
said people say she's an ethical billionaire. LOL.
Who said this? Yeah,
Jacqueline. Yeah, I agree. It's not really. That's not really a thing. Ethical billionaire. Yeah. If you were an ethical billionaire, you would be a millionaire. That's true.
No, look, the billions are a problem. I'm interested to see what she does with it. At least we do live in a capitalistic society, and she's participating.
Not for long.
Well, at the moment, and she's participating in it.
Not sustainable.
I wish that I suspect though that what she will do eventually is take care of her business, and part of that business will be that wealth distribution. She ran into a $360 million bill recently. So a part of, I think, what we saw her do was go on a big, giant cash grab, deliver in the goods along the way. Mm-hmm. Ain't no thievery going on here. But she did that to go and land a $360 million purchase of her record masters, or her masters.
I also don't...
Big fucking deal, hard work, blah, blah, blah. Kind of got to be a billionaire to do it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I also don't really understand how it works at that level of wealth, like whether this is money that she can actually move around, or whether it's just value of assets. Like if she has an asset that is like worth $900 million.
We know that at least $360 million of her $1.6 billion worth is that library and we know that library is not cash.
Yeah. Right.
And we know that library will never be cash until maybe she's 80 or 90, when she really wants to just get that little house by the sea. So she'll cash out and sell that for $6 billion when she's 70. Just so she can get that little house in Croatia or wherever the hot spot or the cool spot is, I guess is what they'll be looking for.
Oh boy. Delicatessen said that the private jet thing is another AstroTurf thing.
Well, she uses them and she has more than one, and part of it is necessary for her to do what she does when she's touring. But look, billionaires are a problem. And
your point is that we can criticize people.
Yeah, we have to be able to...
We can criticize people that we like.
Taylor's brilliant. I love her. I'm thinking about tattoos. I'm doing all of it.
Do not.
Yeah, just come on.
Don't do it.
Just like a what you call it?
I know that it's possible to find a Taylor Swift temporary tattoo. So we'll just get you a few of those.
A kiss tattoo. Let's get a kiss tattoo. Is that true? She only owns one?
Yeah.
She's number 50 on the jet list, use list. And Joe Alwyn was constantly using it. Listen, I have every bit of faith. I do. I truly, I want to say this about her. She's a billionaire. It's easy to go, billionaires are bad. And it's not necessarily wrong to do that in terms of not bad, but wrong. Billionaires are wrong.
Billionaires should be millionaires.
They're wrong.
Right.
They shouldn't exist.
There's a level of wealth where you are mandated by humanity, right? Like morally mandated to just give the rest away. Like it's not, you should just be a multi-millionaire.
It's a big fucking problem for me. It's a really big giant problem for me because hoarding wealth is hoarding real estate. This is all what's killing us and destroying our futures and our kids' futures and all this other stuff. And I'm saying that that's Taylor Swift. I'm saying that as billionaires. She happens to be in that club as a result of her extreme amount of popularity, talent, and product. I mean, she puts out ridiculous amounts of product, but I see Taylor Swift putting a lot of products out. Like there's always like a product she'll push. Like if it's a sweater that she was wearing or whatever, so she does a lot of selling, as a billionaire. And I never like to see that. Mm-hmm. I just don't like to see it.
I know Tina Fey was on Amy Poehler's podcast talking about how she kind of like curls her lip whenever she finds like a celebrity or a wealthy person with like a side gig. She's like, why are you doing a side hustle? Like, you don't need to do that. I find it like really, it really irks me whenever I see an actor in a model's role, like on a magazine, in a magazine ad, or Like any ad or commercial that could have just been like where there's no speaking, right? Where it's basically just like Charlize Theron or like, Natalie Portman or something posing for a perfume ad or something. I was like, there is a model out there who could have like had this role and it would have changed her life. And instead, these guys who already have everything and all the fame, they're taking it.
Well, if there's a billionaire I have any faith in terms of what she'll do, the right thing, I think it'll be Taylor Swift. I don't think that she needs to act right now. I don't think that, I think that, but I have faith in her because I do believe that she is made of the good stuff. If I'm wrong, I've been wrong before. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll live with that, sort of error. But
King Gator's hilarious. My main issues with Taylor Swift is she's so painfully conventional. Getting married to a football player? Come on, be more creative.
With him on one knee, surrounded by flowers. Can you please? Where's the washboard?
Seen it. It's really funny.
Just seen it.
Cosmic Urgency says, well, they've started using AI models now, Angela, so.
Yeah.
That's true. Everything's getting much worse.
Everything just spiraling out of control. Yeah. We just laugh gaily.
I just saw this headline where they're apparently the AI companies have started to notice that everybody thinks that they're like, gonna make everybody, mentally ill, have psychotic breaks left and right.
Yeah.
OpenAI is going to begin safeguarding ChatGPT for teens and people in crisis.
Oh, will they? How many people had to die before they started?
I know,
They're
right?
like, oh, okay, fine. Yes, it's true. It convinced somebody to kill themselves.
Stories about ChatGPT encouraging suicide or murder or failing to appropriately intervene have been accumulating recently. And people close to those harmed are blaming or suing OpenAI. So it's like it wasn't until they got the lawsuits that they were like, maybe we should address this issue. It's crazy. Yeah, they're getting sued like crazy. Wrongful death suits. Do you remember that story about the girl who went to prison she was convicted? I'm not sure. I can't remember what the charge was, but she was texting with her boyfriend about his attempts to unalive himself, and she kept encouraging him.
Yeah, it was such a horrifying case.
So I think
she got like nothing. What'd she do? 2 years or something?
Oh, I can't remember.
She went and had some popcorn and came out.
They're using that as precedent. It's like you can't have these AI and like chat bots like having conversations or making any sort of decisions or helping anybody through any of these issues because they're not accountable. Like she could be held accountable. These like ChatGPT and all of these others, there's no accountability because it's just a language model that runs. Like nobody's responsible for what it says. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
So now they're doing protections.
Oh my God.
I know. A little too late. We'll see what happens.
I love that King Gator said she's so painfully conventional. I think that's just hilarious.
I know. It's so
I love that actually about her. There's something like that just actually is kind of refreshing in a way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she's like, I mean, it's a nice difference from, Wrecking Ball. Do you know what I mean?
I don't have an opinion about it. I think that they're both like goofballs, so they're probably super happy with each other. They seem like they have a great time hanging out. Every time you see them in public, they're like just like in each other's face talking, and that's fun. That's like us. They're just like us, Dale, only rich.
Yeah, see, Jennifer's bringing up that Taylor Swift sells all this collectible stuff, and that I wish she'd stop on that. Like that's the one thing that I hate to see. And look, I don't know what it is. I just can't understand it. It's like seeing celebrities doing commercials. Like I just don't fucking understand it, bro. I honestly don't understand it. Like Tom fucking Brady did a Subway commercial. That guy's never put Subway in his mouth ever.
Oh, I know.
In his entire fucking life,
I'll bet
you that he has not once ate an entire Subway sandwich in his life.
Of course not. He doesn't even eat bread. And they wrote it into the ad. I don't know why
they wrote it into the ad.
But he doesn't even need that money. What is he
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't need the money, and he's endorsing a product that he doesn't even believe in, that he would never even put in his mouth, that he thinks is bad for you.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking like the fucking devil himself. Just be like,
well,
have it, kids. It's good for you, not good for me.
I don't know if you know this, Dale, but Subway doesn't exactly have the best track record for their advertising campaigns.
That's not my point. We know that. That's not my point. My point is that these celebrities, I don't understand why they can't just have enough. You know, we talk about it in the book, you know, life is not like the land of not enough. Mm-hmm. When's it enough, dude? Fucking, it's just insanity. Like, you know, I've gone off about LeBron James' fucking mall-sized home that he's building in Beverly Hills right now. That's worth $200 million. Bro, you make too much money.
Yeah.
You make too much money. You made it's an unsellable house. Who the fuck is going to buy a house for $200 million?
I guess he doesn't care. He doesn't intend to sell it.
Too much money.
Yeah.
That's just going to be a fucking empty, museum after it's over? Like, what the fuck?
I know. I get really irritated about that too. Like people that have like these like huge estates with like, and it's all lawn. I'm like, that could be a forest. You could be growing like food for the wildlife. Like, what are you fucking doing with a lawn?
Word.
It irritates me.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, though. So, you know, Sydney Sweeney.
Yes.
She's had a bad summer, really. I mean, if you think about it on the chart, she doesn't probably give a shit. But like when you think about like her status, it's shifted. She was in this American Eagles ad, and that didn't go well in terms of like the overall reception. She was accused basically of white supremacy or promoting white supremacy with this ad. That's a pretty heavy duty charge. That was, I guess, somehow reinforced by those who believe that her registering as a Republican in the state of Florida in the 2024 election. I think people took that as a Trump supporting situation. And so they piled that onto the sort of stigma that was building around her. And but I guess Scooter Braun loved it all, dude. He was like, damn, you're hot. White supremacy, Donald Trump. Can we go on a date? So
what, they're dating?
They're dating. Scooter Braun is dating Sydney Sweeney.
What?
It really, like, she's moved into the I don't like you. Like, she's like, you know, in my little chart, like between likes and dislikes of celebrities.
Like, it's like the Overton window, but like the graph. But like,
exactly.
But it's actually just like celebrities on the
exactly.
on the scale of right to left.
Exactly.
She's like scooting over.
She's just scooting.
She's the little Overton window. That's
like it's just out of control,
direction.
you know. It's like with the American Eagle ad or whatever that is. Was that what it's called?
Yeah.
With that ad, I was just like, you know, I mean, maybe not. Maybe that's not. Maybe she's I don't know. Maybe
her publicist is like, I'm sorry, we're doing what now?
Now Scooter Braun.
Like, we're gonna need to charge more money for this.
Honestly, like seeing them together, I was like, wow, like it just like there was a picture of them together, not together, but just their photos together. Sources confirm.
Maybe it's not even true.
Well, according to TMZ, this is where I picked this one up. According to TMZ, they're in contact with people very close to her and who confirm without any doubt. It felt as though it was from her through them confirming.
The old anonymous source close to the... Huh?
It's like her taste in men. Like, it's like Scooter Braun. He calls himself Scooter. Say that.
Sydney and Scoots.
Say that when you're like, you know, in the heat of it.
I won't.
Oh, Scooter. Right there, Scooter.
Stop it. Don't do it.
Why don't you scoot on in there and...
You're doing too much.
What do you think they're gonna call their kid? If his name is Scooter. Scooter Jr.?
I don't know, man. I just don't really care about these people.
I don't either. I'm just talking shit because it's my job now or something. No, I'm talking about her fall from my grace. Dude, if that's a white supremacy ad, if she indeed was like, if she was on the Trump train, and Scooter Braun's her ideal male, I'm like, that's a wrap. It's just like, because it's just like people will turn me off so much that I just can't watch them.
I wonder whether all of this is explained by her just saying yes to anything that's going to get her money.
I wonder
whether she's just
I wouldn't even blame her for it, really, but she's so talented. It's like, ugh.
She's really, really talented. That's the thing. It's fucked up. Like,
she can fucking act her.
Maybe somebody got in her head and was
off.
like, listen, what you have is not going to last. You have to make as much money as you can right now, or you're going to be finished and miserable. And I wonder whether she believed that instead of like cultivating a respectable career and getting like nominated and getting respect and like getting paid more, you know.
It's interesting because like I wonder what's really going on, to what extent it's, because there are like, I feel like Pedro is like living his idea of the career he wants. He's taking advice, but I think he has, because he doesn't appear any differently in the way in which he's presented to the world as he was as a guy I knew, in terms of the general feel for him. You know, I mean, obviously you can't know him the way you would know him if you hung out with him, as somebody, you know, in the general population, the market. But the perception of him really seems to match the men. And I think that, you know, people like Sydney Sweeney, like what you're saying is there's a good possibility that Sydney Sweeney just has a whole janky machine behind her and doesn't have her own true, like, sort of, you know, course.
Well, I don't know, because I was really looking forward to, we just saw Sydney Sweeney on White Lotus.
Yeah.
And I just really like her work. I like her. I think she's a really wonderful actor. I think she never misses. I think every role that she tries to do, she nails it. And so I'm just like really interested in learning about what she does next. And so she's in this bio of a boxer, and she like transformed her body to become this boxer. Yeah. This really amazing story. This person wrote a memoir. She was a competitive, a high-ranking boxer. I don't know if she was an Olympian. But anyway, she was like, she'd won championships. And then she had I won't spoil it, but she had a horrible, like, near death experience outside of the ring. So she wrote a memoir about that, and they made it into a movie, and they cast Sydney Sweeney. And I was like, this is exactly what somebody like her, who's a really, really amazing actor, these are the roles that she should be getting. She's like leading a movie where it's a bio of somebody who goes through a ton of shit. Like, perfect. I don't know anything about this movie, that the other movie that came out that starred her. It's called Americana. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about it, but I would have watched that too, you know?
For sure.
They didn't market it. It doesn't seem like they promoted it at all. Nobody ever heard when the release dates were for this, but apparently it's passed.
I told you this. You brought this up before, but let me tell you something, man. When somebody falls from grace in the public eye and they're trying to do their tests out there, if they're not getting the scores back, they're not going to drop $20 million marketing a movie that's already dead.
So you're saying the studio pulls that money. They don't do the marketing. I
don't know if that's what happened here, but what I'm saying is that what we might be seeing is that the studio saw the hit on her, and they saw an immediate, sort of publicity problem, and decided that they would just eat the bad box office and not pay out like loads of money to the.
It's a real shame too, because she deserves to have a fucking massive career. There's no reason why she shouldn't be like a Margot Robbie, you know, like anybody that's big in the game. It's a bummer. I hope she doesn't keep making shit decisions. You know, maybe she should get some better representatives.
Wow, this is like one thing after another, and like
she can have her pick of representatives. I don't know why she's.
I'm only picking a Scooter Braun because I like the guy's like a Baldoni. He's a friend of Baldoni's.
Yeah.
You know, he was a part of that weird fucking round table, and I felt like
you're talking about the Man Enough episode where they were talking about Me Too.
Yeah,
and it was a bunch of dudes eating dinner around a table, and it would like intercut with these like close-up interviews of women who were like bearing their souls about their Me Too experience in like a dark room, and then it would cut back to the round table where these dudes are like having snacks and talking about
trying to reconcile with their bad decisions. Yes. It was a bad episode. Well, what was weird about it was like, how do you not know it when you're in it? Like, if I was sitting there, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? You know, this place is fucking whack. Do you know what I mean? They just want to have this big share-all of nonsense. It was just, to me, the whole thing was weird. Because the first thing I'd be is like, why are we eating?
Yeah.
Like, right. Honestly, this is not the kind of conversation we want to have over dinner. Over dinner, I like to talk about movies. Yeah?
Yeah.
Not grape.
Not women being abused and then ignored, right. Mistreated.
Right,
like,
right. Yeah. It's just a fucking weird. Like, maybe we could shift our attention to something less pleasurable for a moment while we observe this problem with a more scrutinous eye, you know? Like, it was just weird to me. I also didn't like a lot of what they were saying. They were more complimentary to each other than they were actually. I didn't think they furthered anything in the conversation personally. Now, there's a bias there because I just don't like them, you know? I don't. So.
Who?
Justin Baldoni.
Or Scooter Braun.
Well, Scooter Braun rubs me the wrong way, you know, and I'm not sure I understand the complexity between him and Taylor. I know it didn't end well. By default, I'm siding with Taylor.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm going to side with the artist pretty much. Anytime somebody swoops in and buys somebody's fucking catalog out from under them because that's what that feels like.
No, it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I know you can do it. I know that you can own somebody's masters, but if the artist wants it back, like, why are you fighting them about it?
Yeah, it's like the oligarchs. I know you can buy all the real estate.
Yeah, right.
I know you can.
But should you?
Maybe that's why you should be taxed.
Is that
so
fair?
you don't.
Right.
So you can't. Mm-hmm. So that you, like me, can afford to buy all the real estate. It was a bad dynamic, whatever. But his vibe just, and honestly, you know, I don't care how stupid this sounds. Like his name's Scooter, and that just like is like a strike.
It's not his name.
I know his name is Scott. I know his name's not Scooter.
No, I know that's what I'm saying.
He goes by fucking Scooter.
I know he chose it.
He calls himself Scooter. I'm like I feel like he should have a fucking propeller hat on. I do. I think he should have like that, you know, a fucking propeller hat.
I know the one, yeah.
Straight up. Put a propeller hat on Scoots and let him go make his business deals like he likes to.
Well, I'm usually pretty good at separating the art from the artist. So even if it turns out that Sydney Sweeney is a terrible person, I think I'm still going to try and observe her work and like see whether these movies that she made
Well, I dig
good.
that. She hasn't done anything personally to me either. Separating her art from her life is an easy thing for me to do. I'm not going to read Mein Kampf anytime soon. So if it gets that bad with her, then obviously there's a line that gets crossed there.
Dale.
Hey, dude, she's the one who came out with the fucking jeans ad, not
but
me.
she didn't write it. Anyway, I'm not going to. We shouldn't pursue that. I don't think.
Look. That's the whole controversy around her, dude. I'm not.
Not exactly.
I'm not
I mean,
anything.
you like took it up a level.
I'm sorry. It's not white supremacy that she's being criticized for.
It was, yeah. I guess it was, but
so then
it's a little mysterious how much blame can be put directly on her. Nobody's really spoken about
that's
it.
What I'm referring to.
I understand.
That's why I'm saying
you
I'm
know
not,
what you know what
I'm
you
not
did.
putting her in that category of like I'm saying if it gets there, right? Man, you're tough on me tonight.
Lisa Timms is laughing at your propeller hat.
Fucking Scooter in his little propeller hat. You know?
Lisa says, I know, really, with the scooter? I agree, red flag.
It's a red flag for whatever reason. You call yourself Scooter. I just, look, it's stupid for me to say that, and I recognize my stupidity in there. There's no doubt a person who calls himself Scooter could be the most amazing person in the world, and I might miss out on him. Do you know what I mean? Because of my stupidity. But I just feel like when you call yourself Scooter, it's a tell. It feels like a tell.
Yeah, I always feel like somebody who goes by like the child form, like the childish form of their name. Did you hear that? Is that a cicada?
It's a cicada.
It sounds like it's inside.
It does. It feels like we got one in our house here.
It's creepy.
Did you know they're hollow?
Huh?
They're hollow.
Cicadas are hollow.
They're hollow.
Yeah.
That's how they get that noise.
That's how they actually have like drums built
beating
into
a
their
drum,
body.
basically.
And the cicada sound comes from it's
wild.
Vibrate in these resonant drums.
One of my favorite things about living in the South is
cicadas.
Is the cicadas. They're even when they're deafening, because I get thrilled with like the power of nature in that way.
Anyway, I was talking about Scooter.
Putting out the devils, Scoots. My bad.
I always feel like people who like grown men who go by like the childhood form of their name, you know, the childish form. Like my name's Robert, but I go by Bobby or whatever.
No, my brother hated being called Dougie.
Dougie, as a grown up.
Period.
I feel
as a kid, he was like, "Come here, Dougie." Don't call me Dougie.
I feel
was
like
on the phone with my mom the other day. She said Dougie. I was like, "You said Dougie? He's fucking he's almost 60."
Yeah. I always get this sense that they're doing it specifically to fly under the radar because they're actually like snakes, you know? Like they're like, if you see me somehow as like this innocent little boy, then you won't see like the cutthroat shit that I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
To be totally hypocritical here, I also like cool nicknames. Like I mentioned Cool Breeze in
That's very different.
my book.
Yeah.
And I love that.
A guy going by Cool Breeze because
the greatest thing
he was
ever.
basically in a cult and everybody called him Cool Breeze in the cult.
Yeah.
And then continuing to use that is way different than a guy named Scott calling himself Scooter. I don't know. Maybe somebody gave him that name too.
I don't care. If his fucking grandpa called him fucking Scooter, that's between you and him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Like my dad called my brother Dougie.
It's probably stupid to make fun of somebody's name. Don't you think?
I'm telling you, it's my lowest form of myself.
When you make fun of...
Yeah. This is me.
You fully admit it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not being my best version by making fun of Scooter's name.
100% as shallow as I can be right now.
You're like, this is just a naked judgment. It's got no credibility.
Nope.
I love it. You got to own it.
There's absolutely no reason not to call me stupid for it. Because it's stupid.
And I would agree.
But for whatever reason, as soon as I heard his name, I was like, there's something wrong with that guy.
You just got a sense of it. That's really funny.
Why would you call yourself Scooter? You just don't.
That's really funny.
I totally describe Scoots. He's Scoots, you know?
Scoots.
You know, like that to me is my dog dragging his butt. So I'm saying, like, there's no form of that name that doesn't make me think there's something wrong with you for wanting that. I guess that's what it is. It's like, why would you want that? Like, my brother rejected Dougie. Like, he rejected that. He was like, don't do it. He would get angry, visibly.
That's really funny. Did you ever wish you had a name that could be shortened or changed?
I do. Duh.
You do? You go by Duh?
Duh. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I was, or Jimmy or whatever. There's nothing, my name can only be Dale.
I always thought that the shortenings of my name were really fucking lame, so I never did it.
Yeah,
it would have been
sounds
nice.
like you're pushing something out of your nose. Angie just sounds like you're just putting something. Something's gonna.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Angie.
Yeah, or Ange. Just it's not any better.
It's like, it's like swallowing custard.
Doesn't work. Not for me. Kindly DiCaprio said you could be Wheat.
Yeah, somebody called me Wheats. That's. I had a good friend in California. I thought he was a good friend. He called me Wheats.
That's a good one.
Yeah, D-dubs.
D-dubs. No.
I got D-dubs.
Nobody called you that.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, D-dubs. I didn't make that up.
Oh, Lisa Tem said, Dale, your book is going everywhere I go, so I can read it everywhere I can.
That's awesome.
I must tell you, many ladies have come up, point out the very handsome man they see on the cover.
Oh, shit. All right, then. I had no idea. I thought not so handsome. I thought I was pretty bummish looking. In the book, I say, I credit Gord Downey for singing I Got a Real Bum's Eye for Clothes. Uh-huh. It's kind of how I always felt about myself. I like my nickname says King Gator. King.
That's a good one.
It is. But honestly, if somebody calls himself King, I'm sus immediately.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Now, if they call themselves King and then they come with that, it comes like a major reputation. But I do like awesome names. Like my former father-in-law was one of them Philly guys where you walk into it and it's like, there's the curmudgeon over there. And like the curmudgeon, like call me the curmudgeon. Like that's a fucking great nickname.
Yeah, where they just like assign you a name based on your character and like how everybody knows you rather than your actual name.
Hi, Erica, by the way. I haven't said hello in a while. Yeah, exactly that.
Would you show Lisa Timms how she should be reading your book in public?
Oh, yes. There are instructions on reading a book in public. Normally when you're at home, you would just put this maybe on your lap. For example, you could read it like this. You see how you can't see that? So if I could be sitting like, R.D. called me one morning and invited me to see The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert with everyone at the Vista Theater. Oh, it was a good time, folks. See, but you can't see the book. So when in public, please hold the book up high.
Like this.
So that they don't see your face, but they only see the book. R.D. called me one morning and invited me to see The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert with everyone at the Vista Theater. See how it just sounds better, too? Doesn't it sound better?
Also, you have to, while you're reading it like that, you have to like do big laughs.
If you're going to stretch, always grab the book, close the book, and then stretch up high, especially in airports. As high as you can in airports.
Just
maybe
show it
wave
around.
it around a bit.
No, but listen, when you're reading the book with it open in front of your face so everybody can see,
yeah,
you have to make sure that you do big laughs when it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
And like, big cries. You have to like really emote, you know?
Oh my God. How could that happen to one person?
Is that what people are crying about when they read your book?
Yeah.
How could all this happen to one
person? In one lifetime.
It's too much to bear.
It's too much. Okay, do you have any tissues? Just ask strangers for tissues, and then
while you're holding the book up like
this.
this.
On the book. It's because of this book, which is great, by the way. Have you got a tissue? This is how I should promote my book.
Those are the instructions.
No more self-deprecating.
Kindly DiCaprio wrote in all caps, "You're so hot on that cover." What?
Well, I don't know anything about that, I suppose. I never felt like very good looking in my life. I always felt like I feel like an average guy. I feel like I'm average.
I think that's
my girlfriends have been hot.
I think that's the best way to be. I think that's the best way to be is to be like, I'm average looking.
That's how I feel. I feel pretty average. I got a pretty big nose.
I feel like problems happen when people feel like they're below average looking or when people think they're above average looking. If you just like cruise through life as like you yourself understand that you're average looking, your self-esteem can be developed in other ways and you never feel like you stand out for one reason or another.
I was highly intimidated by how good looking Scott Bloom was and how good looking Johnny Whitworth was and how good looking Leonardo DiCaprio was, but comforted by Tobey Maguire.
That's mean.
Super comforted by Tobey Maguire. I found him to be, I think, the word my dad would have used, homely, is the word that my dad would. Well, back then he had like, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Uh-huh. He had a shaggy goatee-ish thing.
It was all patchy.
Yeah, and he can't grow full good beards like a man.
Yeah, like you do.
He can't grow that. He was just patchy and kind of gnarly, and it's fucking twiny and twirly and not good. Not good. And then he had like shaggy hair, just like Shaggy. Kind of hanging over his eyes and stuff. He looked like a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, you also said that he blew his nose into his shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
there
disgusting.
was lots of that. He was awful.
That would be you'd kind of elevate your status if you hung out with somebody.
He used
like
to
that.
fucking literally, I shit you not, with white shirts. Like he'd have white undershirts, and he would blow full fucking cavities full into them, and it would come off, and there'd be a big ass stain, and he would just drop it onto his body. And continue on with whatever he was doing.
No fucking way.
Yes. And, as I point out in the book, I saw him hug somebody doing that shit.
That is gross.
Now, he did try to, not make contact. He did one of those hugs,
Well, that's good.
The big boobs hugs, where you're not, trying not to make contact with the, this, oh, we're hugging? Okay, I'm going to try not to touch your boobs. These things are in the way, though. Can't get my arms around you. You ever see a guy hug a woman that way? Happens.
It's like a side hug.
It's kind of like, it was fucking, you don't want to be all squishing up on somebody like you just met.
Oh my God, Cosmic Urgency said Johnny Whitworth is a Trump guy now.
Is he really? Is that true? Oh, that's horrible.
I'm not surprised.
You aren't? Why wouldn't you be surprised?
Because the only thing I know about Johnny Whitworth is he used to come into the coffee shop where I worked and he would order things. He would come in all the time. Like he wasn't like upset enough to not come back, but he would come back all the time and then like whinge. He'd just stand there and complain about the fucking prices. Yeah. And I would be like, bro, I don't set the fucking prices. I serve the fucking coffee and the fucking muffins or whatever the fuck you're ordering.
He would do that and then have a conversation with me at the pool table about how he was about to inherit $5 million from his dad, which he told me that.
Serious? Yeah. So he'd complain about the prices and I'm like, all right, don't you want to do something else with your time? Like, this isn't going to change. I'm not going to give you a fucking discount and you're not going to go anywhere else. So just buy the shit that you want.
Kindly DiCaprio saying, oh my God, did you work at a celebrity coffee shop? Angela worked at a legendary coffee shop in Hollywood called the Bourgeois Pig. It just recently closed down, but it was there for decades. In fact, I used to go to the Bourgeois Pig in the early 90s with Leonardo DiCaprio, as a matter of fact, on at least a couple of occasions, I'm sure. Because we all stopped in, because it was a legendary place. Literally had a room called the Tree Room. There was literally a tree in a room.
It wasn't just a tree. It was like the whole room was designed to be like a forest, where you're basically sitting inside of a forest. And it was all lit with like owls and shit.
Yeah, it was
really, really
neat.
great.
So a lot of writers, a lot of actors, Tim Allen, just like all these fools come in there. I say fools in a kind way.
A complimentary way?
Hollywood fools, like my fools, my homies. We were all fools.
Yep. It was at the foot of the Hollywood Hills. And so we had a lot of industry folks that would go there regularly. And it was nice. And that's where I met Dale.
I met Angela there because there was another coffee shop a few steps away that I used to go more frequently because the Bourgeois Pig was very much like very dark inside. It was like a bar.
It was a bar. It's an espresso bar. So it was basically like a dry bar. Like we hosted a bunch of like 12-step meetings and stuff. So it was a bar people could hang out with where they didn't serve alcohol.
Yeah. And so I didn't really like that in the middle of the day because it's like you come out and you're like, oh, holy shit, you're blasted by the sun and all this other stuff. So I never really liked that. And so I didn't go there. I went to this coffee shop, just not far away. It was one day so backed up that I couldn't wait. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go to Bourgeois Pig and get it. I walked in. There was a lineup, not quite as long as the one I was at before. Angela was making the drinks, and I was just blown away. I couldn't believe my eyes as soon as I saw you. I just could not believe my eyes. I was absolutely
love at first sight.
It really was like, I mean,
Starstruck.
I don't want to call it love at first sight because I'm not like that, but it was like, holy shit, this is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. And look at us now, huh? We got a dog and a 13-year relationship.
It's 13?
Yeah.
That's Taylor Swift's lucky number.
Yeah, are we in our first house of perfection right now?
I don't know. I have to look it up. I think we're in our 8th, which is bad.
Oh yeah, we'd be in our 8th. That's
yeah.
Right. Yeah, we are in our 8th. I'm not having the best year.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
It feels like it, huh?
I love what's happening with this.
I know, me too.
The lives are out of this world amazing. And so to that end, I'm having a great year. But, I think I had higher expectations as usual. And so.
Kindly DiCaprio said, Toby was cute to me, but now no longer. That's really funny because of your story, probably. Wait till you read the book, Kindly DiCaprio. It is going to change your mind about these people.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you can read the book on Amazon Kindle Unlimited for free in most big, large markets around the world. And they have really long trials in most markets as well. So it's a great way to support the book and not pay for it. Which I like.
Lisa's being so complimentary.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Lisa said, I bet when you started tonight, you did not think the chat was going to end up talking about how handsome you were.
No, that was not coming. That was not in my, no, I'm a little taken aback by that. Oh, Lisa loved the Bourgeois Pig. I
loved it too. I was so irritated to hear that they, a lot of places closed down when COVID lockdowns happened.
Yeah.
And then when they reopened, when they were allowed to reopen, I guess, they opened from like just in the afternoon. It's a fucking coffee shop. So they didn't open in the mornings for morning coffee, and they didn't open late at night, which is when we were always busiest. So they were open from like noon to 4 or some shit.
It was a management
And as soon
issue.
as they did that, I was like, this place is going to go under. Like, there's no fucking way that they can make their money from noon to 4. It's a fucking coffee shop.
Dude,
Never.
I sat in that place all hours.
Yeah.
And writers would go in there and write all night. I wrote a screenplay there.
Yeah.
I wrote I Am Loving You.
I often had to clear everybody out at like, I think we closed at like midnight or something,
Maybe one day I'll read something from I Am Loving You.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
Maybe one day I'll read something from, that screenplay. I don't think I would read. Bill Maher had Woody Allen on his podcast. I haven't listened to it yet, though.
Oh, my God. That's like the last conversation I want to
It's like, who's next, Dean Cain?
I know. Fuck, dude. Bill Maher's such a fucking joke now.
Look, I love Woody Allen, the filmmaker. But Woody Allen, the guy, is just not happening for me, dude. He's writing fucking...
I'm not interested in anything he has to say.
No, that guy's writing birthday notes to fucking Jeffrey Epstein, dude.
I know. That's true.
And let me tell you something about that whole scene, in my opinion. Having been around when the legend of Harvey Weinstein's misgivings were swirling around Hollywood and New York, they knew. Even if they didn't participate, they knew. That's why you hear Donald Trump saying, and I hear he likes them on the young side or whatever, when he talked about
with
him,
like a wink. Like he knows everybody knows what he's talking about. Yeah.
So they knew, dude. And I don't care if you did or didn't participate. If you knew, it's as good as participating. Lives were being ruined, destroyed, utterly destroyed. Like just destroying youth, kids whose future... they knew were in the hands of the people around them, the so-called adults they were supposed to trust. So Woody Allen is, absolutely on the list of piece of shit. Won't be coming off ever in my lifetime off my list. But look, man, do I love Woody Allen's work? I do. Will I watch Woody Allen again? Probably not. You know, I might revisit some of the old stuff. I might. It's possible. But enough's enough with this guy already. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm no longer interested in the movies that he makes that are centered around him and his perspective as a character. I still really like the movies that he made that were, you know, like Match Point. Like they're completely... Did he do Vicky Cristina Barcelona too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were great movies. So I'll still watch those. But
yeah, I mean, I even love the more controversial ones because now, of course, but I loved Manhattan. That was like, that movie inspired the fuck out of me.
I just don't want to see him anymore.
But now it's him with this young girl, and it's like, oh, well,
yeah,
fuck. And I never realized how young she was either. I thought she was like, you know, 18, 20 or whatever. Oh, it's all crazy, guys.
Last few things.
Yeah. Let me know how that goes, though, if you're watching it or hearing it or whatever it is. Listening to it.
Guilty Angel took a break because you said to, but I'm so glad that you're still with us, that you didn't like leave or anything, you know? Yeah. Guilty Angel said, I've been told I get a little too caffeinated sometimes. Plus, I had like 2 Red Bulls. Something is probably wrong with me. Is this a problem? Does anybody else have this problem?
Like, I could tell that you were like that. Obviously, I fucking pissed you off. And I was like, okay, that's fine, man. I'll just chill out over here. You know what I'm saying? Because like,
but Guilty Angel, everybody has that problem. Like literally everybody can get too caffeinated.
Oh, dude, you know. And
oh my God, Guilty Angel said I had like 6 espressos today. Well, there's your problem right there.
I have been on this live. I've been grumpy as fuck. And you guys have tolerated me while I've shouted into the mic.
That's true.
Well, I've just actually been bent at times. So, man, it's all good, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. We don't care.
It's you know, we it's the ebb and flow of life, man. We're not impervious to the human condition around here.
Also, this question, I'm trying to find this one from Kindly DiCaprio. Here it is. Sorry.
Do you want to put the pot on, Angela?
Yes. Does your book talk about how to cast the right actors that seems really hard to get right?
Now, I mean, you know, we get into casting. We talk about casting. But let me tell you what. When you read the book, if you have any questions about casting, just come back here and ask me.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Also, Kindly DiCaprio is also asking, do you recommend I move to Hollywood if I know no people there yet?
Yes. I mean, listen, when I say that, it's like, don't go there and not be prepared. And so, you know, yes.
It has turned into the most expensive place to live.
It's so ridiculous expensive.
It's so expensive.
It's all about your circumstances. What you don't want to do is put yourself in a super vulnerable spot there, because it's very easy then to, especially like, you know, it's an exploitative place.
Yeah.
You need to be in a place of strength and a personal strength and personal power. Doesn't mean you have to have a bunch of money. Doesn't mean you have to be, but you have to have personal strength, personal power.
Yeah, like so.
And you have to have the honesty and the to look yourself in the mirror and know what you're made of, because Hollywood is brutal potentially, and you know.
That's a really good point.
It can chew you up. So it's about your own confidence in your ability to maintain your integrity of the person that you want to be. I'm glad I got blacklisted rather than compromise. And I was given the opportunity. Tobey Maguire literally said, although I didn't put it in the book for some reason, but he was literally like, that night, that, you know, the infamous night, he said, at one point he was like, you know, insinuating that if I were to go on with them, that I could, now was my time, that I was given the moment to side with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire against Artie Robb.
Oh my God.
He basically gave me the opportunity to do that. But I was like,
throw your closest collaborator under the bus and you can join us.
He was more or less like, you know, just be honest.
He fucking figured everything out, this guy. That was that whole night, that whole fucking scenario, dude, that was like a plan in motion. Like that guy had it all fucking figured out before he fucking isolated you and badgered you that whole night, interrogated you.
It was wild shit.
Fuck that guy.
But anyway, so if you're the kind of person who's going to fold in that situation, then you're the kind of person who might live with a certain guilt or dissatisfaction or emptiness or any kind of whatever consequence might come from a deep compromise. And deep compromises are real easy to come by in Hollywood or a place like Hollywood when you're super vulnerable and you need something to happen. This is how, if you want to watch a great movie about that involves the use of substances and substance abuse, isn't directly related to Hollywood, but is the vibe, Less Than Zero.
Oh, cool.
Less than zero. And you'll see like, and it's Robert Downey Jr.'s character, and it's more tragic, of course, but Robert Downey Jr.'s character and his path to, compromise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be careful, but if you can handle that shit, then get on the bull and ride the bull. But only if you know that you can hang on to the straps long enough to give it a good ride.
Just recently, though, it's gotten so expensive that if you're not moving to Los Angeles with either a ton of money or a network already, right? If you have a ton of money, then you can afford to make time to build a network. If you don't have a ton of money, you could have a network already. But a lot of people will find that they move to Hollywood because they're chasing a dream, and they end up spending all of their time working 3 jobs to afford to live there.
Yeah.
Because it's so expensive now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the solution is.
Missing auditions, missing opportunities, not getting out and doing the networking. They find themselves in a situation where, they're in a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
And it's all about paying the oligarchs.
Yeah, you can't take time to pursue your dreams if you're too busy like making a paycheck. It's fucked up. But that's the reality of it.
The ultimate fucking thing to do, if it's about acting, is to find the community that you have around you now and to build your skills. You need to find the mentors. You need to find the playhouses. You need to find the teachers, the actual
I think it's
classes.
about filmmaking. So if you could figure out a way to make something where you are and then bring that to Hollywood, that's a great way to get in.
But if it's about filmmaking, do this exact same thing, and you're going to be surrounded by people who want to make film. It's all about community. You've got one wherever you are. You got to go, or if you don't, then go to a community, but not necessarily Hollywood. They're not making movies in Hollywood a whole lot these days. So, it's all about like the pursuit of your dream. And if your dream is about filmmaking, you can do that fucking anywhere now more than ever. You should be focused on that. And it's really about defining that question or this question. What kind of filmmaker do I want to be? Or what kind of filmmaker am I? I like the latter question, the last question, because the last question doesn't. I'm a big believer in like if you say you are, then you are, and it doesn't mean you're good at it. Doesn't mean you're, somebody to revere in that world or field. It just means you're that. When I taught at the University of Georgia, I walked in and I said, like, student film is not something we're going to say around here. It's not, don't put that in your vernacular.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Just be a filmmaker and make whatever you make.
Yeah, because it makes no fucking difference.
You're just making a film, dude. Student film is ridiculous. It's the stupid title that they're giving it.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It makes it ineligible for something?
Have you guys ever seen Christopher Nolan's first film? It's called Following. It's fucking incredible. You could definitely tell that he made it on no money, with no experience, and he's just like, you could just see the artistry in it. And that film is absolutely nothing unlike what anybody is capable of
Ridley
making,
Scott
wherever
basically
they are.
did the same thing. Ridley and Tony Scott basically did the same thing.
The Duel was their first one?
Yeah, I think that was it.
I thought that was a period piece. I thought that was more expensive to do.
Well, I mean, no, not in England.
Oh yeah, right. Maybe
not at all. I mean, not at all. That was super low budget. I mean. Maybe a little more than Nolan's.
But they were making movies ever since they were kids. There was that bicycle one. What was it called? The Bicycle?
Yeah, The Bicycle.
Yeah. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
I
So
loved
it. these like the icons of filmmaking that we have now, they've been just doing what they can with where they are
and what they've got.
Yep.
And that's the best way to go about it, man. And that's what the cool thing about it. And I learned this I learned this on my own, really, just being in the world of limitations, living in a world of limitations, just having no choice, man. I only got 40 grand. I only got the people around me. I only got whatever.
Just get started.
Whatever it is, you just got it. That's what's in the tank. But when we went to Denmark, and I had the privilege of meeting and speaking with Lars von Trier at some length, and we spoke about, and if you don't know who Lars von Trier is, he made a couple of, European masterpieces. One, Breaking the Waves, another, Dancer in the Dark. And a lot of people love Melancholia as a big movie. So he's a really accomplished director, obviously. But in the 90s, they had a thing called Dogma 95. And Dogma 95 was a...
There's a book right behind you.
Yeah, I do have a book
right next to
here.
the Odyssey. No, right, the others.
The Odyssey?
Right behind you, baby. Do you see it?
No.
It's right next to the Odyssey. There you go.
Yeah, so this is called Dogma 95. And on this cover is Lars von Trier. There's Albeck, Winterberg. So there's just all these dudes who were involved in creating Dogma 95, Lars von Trier. It's a very strict approach to film that includes things like only using source sound, only using natural light, filming only on video as opposed to film, these basic rules. But what's interesting about it, and I'm sorry for taking such a long way to this point, but what's very interesting about it is that when I asked him about it, he said that the idea behind Dogma 95 essentially was to show artists and filmmakers and young writers the infinite creativity within the limitations that they think they have.
Yeah.
Or that we're presented with. And I think that's entirely profound because
it's really liberating.
It's so liberating. It makes everything possible. So then a good idea is to see really the first Dogma 95 movie, Festen, it's called The Celebration in English.
Is that a Criterion movie? Because I can't find it anywhere.
It was the last time I checked, but it may not be. Find it. It's out there. It's called The Celebration. It actually turned into a Broadway play. But Festen's perfect example of incredible use of wild limitations and how the creative force within that. So it's all about that. You know, you don't need fucking Hollywood. Hollywood needs you. Change the fucking way you're thinking. You don't need Hollywood. Hollywood needs you. What you need to do now is prime yourself for when the opportunity would come. Remember what Stanley Kubrick did? He fucking left. Do you know what I mean? He got out of it, man. He was like, fuck Hollywood, and he went to England. That's where he finished his career.
That's right.
Not in Hollywood. Hollywood is a bit of an illusion. And yeah, it's like you and me. It's kind of look, focus on filmmaking. Focus on the craft. Focus on the dream. Don't focus on the geography. Don't focus on who might help you.
There's also a really...
You're the only one who can really help you.
I'm sorry, I stepped on you there.
I'm giving inspiring advice, Angela. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's also something really incredible that happens when you begin to like connect with other people that also have this like insatiable dream, you know, like they also want to go to Hollywood. They also are super hungry for some sort of creative outlet for their filmmaking dreams, you know?
Yeah.
But when you actually connect with those people and you start to just like get to work and start, you know, trying to get something done with them, it's like a force multiplier. You'll find that that connecting you with several other people who have the same dream.
Yeah.
It's like it becomes like a super focused laser beam type shit. Like you guys are by your connection, you're going to be so much more productive. Whether you're working on their shit, they're working on your shit, whatever happens, like it'll all get done a lot better than if you were just trying to do shit on your own or trying to like upend your life to go and move to another city in the hopes of doing something like that.
Yeah, and the steps there, by the way, is you want to come up with your own idea and you want to make your own film and you've got these ideas and that's wonderful. You start by building those ideas through a period of developments, you know, working on your own product and going through the process of either writing it or whatever experiment you're wanting to incorporate, learning that experiment and understanding or expanding on that experiment. And while you're doing all that, what you want to do is you want to work on other people's projects. You want to go and do a short film and it doesn't matter what they want you to do. I remember Marissa Ryan called me up and she was like, will you be in this play? And I was like, what am I playing? And she's like, you're the dead guy. And my whole fucking existence was to fall down dead. Like the lights come up, I drop. I die. That's the opening of the play is me dropping dead. And I land on the floor and I am there for the whole play.
And you did it.
That was my part.
Because you're a collaborator.
I did it immediately.
Yes.
Because you know what got to happen is not only did I get to be on stage and feel that moment where, you know, the stage lights are on you and they're hot. It's a sensation. It's an utter sensation. But also I got to go to the rehearsals and I got to hear what they were doing and I got to learn and experience it. I also got to figure out that this is probably not my thing. Like I'm probably not going to spend a lot of time in theater, even though I've done a little bit. I did a little bit in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I realized it's not something I want to pursue beyond my already limited experience. You know what I mean? But I enjoyed myself and I learned and it was exciting and I grew.
Yeah. You also just got to hang out with creative people, which is always a good time.
Exactly.
It's never bad.
Yeah, I built community. I contributed, and so now I had. And guess what happened? She gave me a role in a movie after that, a short film, and I had a significant role in it. So it was like a fucking win, a big win. I won. I'm a winner.
Well, Shall we?
You guys are the best people on the fucking earth. I swear to God. I hope you guys had fun hanging out with us. And if you didn't, I hope you'll come back and try again.
Better luck next time.
You're the best. Tomorrow we'll be back 7 p.m. Oh, quick announcement. Thursday, we're only doing an hour. Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry. The Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles begin their season at 8:20. I'm going to drop off at 8 o'clock. I'm going to get myself all the things I need to sit and watch them destroy the worst team to ever assemble, the Dallas Cowboys. Fucking crushing them.
They do that to you guys at the beginning of the season just to make you extra angry. They pair the arch nemesis together. Anyway, that's Thursday, so you're just gonna be here for an hour. But tomorrow we're here the whole time, right?
Yeah, we're here regular tomorrow. Thank you for all your hearts. You have all of my hearts. Or my one heart. Good night, Angela.